and we're live. I hope across several platforms. This is going to be fun.
Nah, so y'all really pissing me off, bro. No, like this really pisses me off, bro. I was telling Euro. No, I'm gonna tell you. I was telling fucking Euro. I hate the meat riding that Stephen Curry and LeBron James have had. So every time when I see meat riding like that, I'm always gonna try to combat that. He's gonna sit here try to tell me, well, you do the same with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. So I gotta ask a question, like,
and KD.
Stop. We're not even gonna get there. Wait. We're on Jimmy. We are on Jimmy and Bam right now. What have I said about Jimmy and Bam that was never facts? Because meat riding is me making somebody more than what they are. I've never made those guys more than what they are. So Mars,
who's making Steph more than what he is?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
He is the greatest shooter of all time.
Nah, son. No. Steph is great in all his right. But the way people was on his train was fucking ridiculous, son. Like, it was ridiculous. They were ready to give him the keys to the league when LeBron James was in the league. Like, come on, son. That was so disrespectful.
You're about to demonetize this episode.
How do I demonetize it?
You already are.
Why? Because I'm bashing Stephen Curry?
No.
Your language has been...
Oh, I didn't even
crazy, bro.
No, because y'all getting me...
You need to go back to the rule of you get 2 an episode.
My bad, but y'all really getting me tight with this. So Mars, for real, like, what have I said about Jimmy and Bam that has never been facts?
Why are you asking me? I've told you I agree with what you say about Jimmy. I don't agree with the Bam stuff because I think Rudy's better, but I don't think you meet.
You think Rudy...
you're biased towards Miami, but I don't think you meet right Jimmy or Bam.
Meet right is crazy, bro.
So wait. Well, for the Rudy Gobert and Bam Adebayo, right? Have I said anything that wasn't facts?
No, you haven't lied. I just don't agree with you. But
Thank you.
People aren't lying about Steph either when they call him the greatest shooter ever.
No, I say he's the greatest shooter ever too. Don't mean him that didn't make him the best player in the league, bro.
Shout out
him. Like, come on, son.
I mean, it's not crazy to say someone who is unanimously top 3 that some people had him as the best player in the world. It's not crazy.
And if he's winning MVP and he's winning the championship.
Come on, bro. Come on. We do not.
Like
you expect someone who won a unanimous MVP and then people are crazy.
We do not let these man-made awards affect our decisions, bro. Lamar Jackson won unanimous MVP. Ain't nobody called him the best player in the league.
We watched
what is a man-made award? A championship ring is a man-made
award. Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
LeBron James team, bro. Save the cat, man. Dang. He didn't have Kyrie and Kevin Love, bro. Like, come on, bro. We're not doing this.
No, this last year.
That's not the only championship he won, fool.
Yeah, he won 2 with KD, and then he just won 1. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, the other 3 don't really count.
I don't care, bro. Nah, bro. Like, y'all just get me tight with that, son.
That's not him.
Who?
Steph.
Steph is him.
Okay. Has Steph ever been the best player in the world?
Never, not
has
1 year.
Close to being the best in the world.
Top 5. So if you want to say that's close, cool. That don't mean he's the best.
To you, was he close?
Top five is close, but if you ever said out your damn mouth that Stephen Curry was the best player in the world, that was just a load of horse doo-doo. I'm not gonna curse for you, Jay, but it was horse doo-doo. It's just ridiculous, son. Like I said this before, Kevin Durant has been the second best player in the league for how long, bro?
Ever.
All of a sudden, because he got 4 rings, he just won a Boston Celtics ring. He's all of a sudden better than Kevin Durant. Like, save me the cat, bro. Like, this is ridiculous, son. We all seen this. We all lived through this whole entire thing.
Mars.
We all go down the list. KD was better for the majority of years than Stephen Curry.
Mars, has Steph ever been the best player in the league?
I think you could argue. I mean, I'd have him as the best player in the world in 2019, like, for sure. I think he was the best player in the world in 2019. If you disagree, I don't know, but I think he was easily the best player in the world that year.
What year?
2019.
2019?
Yes.
What? 2019? Yes. So he was over LeBron James?
The LeBron that played 50 games.
Wait, I thought you had Giannis. I thought you had Giannis as the best since 2019.
No, I said 2020. Giannis was him and LeBron were the best. I've gone through this. I said I've gone through like the last 10 years.
I don't remember. I thought you said in 2019. I thought you said Giannis was the best. His team just lost to the Toronto Raptors. I always said
2022 Giannis, 2021 Steph or Giannis, either one. I don't know. 2020 LeBron or Giannis, 2019 Steph, 2018 LeBron, 2017 LeBron, 2016 LeBron or Steph, whichever one.
How the hell was
2015,
Steph
LeBron
and
or
Curry
Steph?
the best player in 2019?
Because I think he was playing basketball better than everyone
No,
else.
shut that. No. I hate it when you use that.
That's
When you
that's
use that
Mars'
dumb
go-to
shit.
response.
He loves it. Ever since they'll say, oh yeah, I'm gonna use the same thing. No, bro, like you always provide reasonings for your things. You always bring up some crazy ass bogus stat that you just want to run to, like it's your life depending on it. So please run to the stat that you're talking about that made you feel as if he was the best player in 2019.
I don't have any stats. I think Steph was better than everyone else.
Dub is smoking this morning.
I don't know what you want. You want me to? If you want me to go find
2019?
stats, I just think he was better than everyone.
I don't even think he was better than Kevin Durant, bro.
Okay.
What year was his
So-
unanimous MVP? That was
2016.
I could argue that year Steph was on
If
some
Steph
different-
if Steph won
he
the
was
finals,
different that
everyone
year.
would have said he was the best in the world, but he blew.
Which
the
I hate.
finals, so
Which I
everyone
hate.
said he's not, but he had an argument.
Nah,
To me,
LeBron James was always better than him in every aspect of life besides shooting.
that's fine. I don't think anyone's gonna argue with you about Steph versus LeBron.
Dell,
Hey everyone,
top of the
What's up,
morning
Dell?
to you.
how you doing? Are we live?
Yes.
We are.
Okay, so
Who wants Aisha Curry? Not me.
Okay, Dub.
I don't want nobody's wife. I'm a God-loving man. What's wrong with you guys?
A God-fearing man, you mean?
God-fearing, God-loving, God-everything man. Like, what's wrong with y'all? I just drink alcohol every now and then.
well,
Dell
Dub,
has
I-
an agenda today.
Does that include
I,
this
I
morning?
don't have an
pray.
agenda. I wanted to address some things. So from our social media, the amazing last edit. I don't know who did it. It's probably one of my greatest ones I've ever been a part of. There's many people saying, "Oh, you're on a debate show. You're supposed to debate. He's ignorant because he's saying he doesn't have to debate because he has no reason to think that Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA, this, that, and the third." If you've been a part of this show, it's more times than none I've debated why I think KD is the best player in basketball. So if you caught that amazing clip, it means you're at the tail end of seeing it, and now you want explanation. But you got me. I'm going to explain. So I needed Ron and his new hairdo to be here today, and Mars. Well, Mars as well. I just need them to answer a question for me because I think they have. I don't know Euro. I don't know who Euro has the best player in basketball, but he's a logical guy, whatever the case. But Ron not so much, and Mars, he has the numbers that I need. That's why he's pushed into this. So for one,
I feel like we're on trial right now or something.
no, you guys not on
You're
trial at
calling us
all.
to the stand.
No, because I'm not gonna explain this no more because I can't go to stats because as you guys know, I don't have it's stats there that KD has great numbers, this, that, and the third, but I'm not a stats guy, so me bringing up, even if it worked in his favor, I wouldn't use it anyway. So I don't want somebody to say, "Oh, he's not gonna say stats because it doesn't help." No, I don't use stats regardless. Like whatever. So Ron, you said Giannis is the clear-cut best player in the NBA, and Mars, you think so as well right now.
I think Giannis is the best in the world. Yes.
Yes, and you also think Giannis is the best in the world. So then I say Kevin Durant's the best in the world. And could you guys tell me your reason for Giannis being the best to you guys? So, because it's not going to be how I'm depicting mine. I just need you guys to tell me. Like if I wanted to answer, so I say, "Hey, Ron, why do you think Giannis is the best player in basketball?" What would your answer be?
I would give you a few different answers. It'd be a few different reasons as to why, but I would start by saying he's the most dominant player in the NBA.
Okay, and that's it.
That's not it. I would start there.
That's a pretty.
Oh
big
no,
if.
give me because if you're starting there and just saying he's the most dominant, that's like me saying I think KD's the most skilled, so that's why he's best. The crowd, the viewers, they're not gonna like that coming from me, so I just need more context for when I get into my answer. So that's why I wanted to ask you, because you could say he's most dominant to me, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay," because I really don't. You know what I'm saying? That's your opinion. It's not for me to beat an answer out of you. But for our viewers who need this
opinion or not, I'm pretty sure we all have the same opinion that Giannis is the most dominant player in the NBA.
Right? No. That okay. So other than that, because that's like minimal. I need answer. Like
he's the hardest to contain in the NBA.
Okay.
He's the hardest to bottle up for a defense. Like the Boston Celtics won't make him crawl back into his kennel.
Oh, okay. And that's the answer right there.
Yeah, he has the most all-around impact as a player on winning.
Okay. That's a good answer right there. You probably could have started there. But anyway, because I would say like the one answer you said before for defense, I could say Jokic is the same. But whatever the case may be. Now,
what? Jokic
no, in terms of
the same defender as Giannis?
Not defender, the one he said before that. In terms of defense to figure out to contain Jokic is very Yeah. Mars, why is because Ron didn't help. He might as well skip to the 58 minutes. Mars, Mars, why is Giannis the best player in the NBA to you?
I think he's the best combination of offense and defense we have in the league. I think even though he's not a top 5 offensive player to me.
Hold on a second. Hold on. My goddaughter / niece is in here. And she's
Mars, I
interrupting.
With that. I think Giannis is easily a top 3
I'm on the thing. You have to go.
Just because you don't shoot the ball doesn't mean that you're not,
He includes
in elite offensive.
I mean, he's a great offensive player. I mean, but Jokic is scoring.
All right, go ahead. All right, yes. Sorry, Mars.
But even though he's not a top 5 offensive player to me, I think he's the best combination of offense and defense we have. I think he might be the only guy who's a top 7-ish in both offense and defense. I think the numbers he produces in terms of scoring and assists still rival the top offensive players in the league, even if I think he's just a level below. I think his defensive value trumps anyone who else is in the top 5, the Jokic, the LeBron, the KDs, the Stephs. They can't match what he does on defense, and they're just using all offense to try and make up for the gap. And I think Giannis being a top 7 or 8 offensive player is still enough to put him over the top of guys like Jokic, LeBron, KD, Steph, etc.
Okay, perfect. What you did in terms of determining your best player, you use numbers, you use this, that, and the third. When I look at basketball, when I'm walking around in my nice little bubble of life, I don't look at numbers for me to determine the best basketball player. So if it's a kid, say I'm walking, right, and all these players, right, is in playing pickup or whatever they're playing, and a kid comes up to me and they say, hey, how would you determine the best basketball player? He's never seen basketball ever in his life. I say, oh, okay. I'd be like, well, you have to make sure the player can shoot, right? KD can do that better than Giannis, right? You have to make sure the person could dribble the basketball, like have control of the basketball. KD can do that better than Giannis. You have to, other than rim protection and defensive rebounds, which I think Giannis is better than KD, and then, which I won't have to put in, but I'm just giving Giannis what I give him as a basketball player. And Giannis is the most dominant player in basketball. But even in Shaq and Kobe days of Shaq being the most dominant, I still thought Kobe was a better basketball player than Shaq. But Shaq was just more dominant. That's just to get that out there. So yes, you have to have can that player do one dribble left, one dribble right, make it look fluent, make it look easy as a basketball player. If I want a kid that's like in the youth age to watch a player work out to become a basketball player, I would say, look at Kevin Durant, look at the way he works, look at how the game comes easy to him. Those things for me, that is why I determine he's the best player. Because when I'm watching him play basketball, it seems as easy as it is. Giannis' strength, how he gets to the basket, his everything, like his whole will, how he's improved year by year, all that is great or whatever. But with my eyes, how I'm looking at basketball, I don't see Giannis being in any aspect of playing basketball better than KD. The numbers that say, oh, he scores the same, he does this the same. But how I'm judging basketball, this is why I picked Kevin Durant, because on the court, dribbling, shooting, I think he's a better on-ball defender than Giannis. I think so. If he's in a defensive system, he can rim protect like he did. Not probably at the same level as Giannis because Giannis is a freak. He could rim protect at a good level. You just said something about the impact on defense. A lot of ratings for Giannis on his defensive end, because I think he averaged maybe 2 blocks a game. I don't even know, 2 point something. I don't know even if it's that high, but it's defensive rebound. Giannis is a hell of a defensive rebounder. So if Kevin Durant was to attack the glass as Giannis did to clean up defensive board, his defensive impact would probably go up. So if you're going to put into numbers defensive rebound is a great defender, I don't see that. You're just a great rebounder to me. Because Giannis, defensive rebound goes into for Jokic, but he's still not a defender, but he doesn't rim protect like Giannis. If he rim protected like Giannis and rebound the exact same way he did, I think his defense rating would be high and people would say, oh, he's a comparable defender. And that's just going off of numbers, helping his analytical views of him defensive rebounding. So when I look at basketball, I try to strip away the numbers and watch them play basketball. And I think the way Kevin Durant plays basketball, it's a better way than Giannis. And I've been saying this for years. People heard this before.
You just said that if you boost KD's defense up to Giannis's, then he would be a better defender.
No. I said boost his defensive rebound. Because that
he says defensive value would be up because that's
his
the
defensive value would be up because that's the stats that help.
Just based off of analytics.
Based off analytics. No, not. I'm not saying you, Mars. I'm just saying people that say when you say his defensive reach or value, it's when you look at the numbers, that's one of the great numbers is defensive rebounding. Honestly, it is. That's why Rudy Gobert blocks a lot of shots and gets a lot of rebounds, control the paint, and that's his defensive value is skyrocket. When he have 20 rebounds in a game sometimes and he has 15 defensive rebounds, you know what a great defensive game he has by the numbers?
What is
but
that?
They're not going to see the one-on-one play of a guard just going by him and laying up and pointing to him and doing all that stuff because it's just not. That's just not what's going to happen. So you got Giannis. Giannis is the most dominant player in the NBA, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's very hard to contain Giannis, and I don't know if what you said, Ron, about defense. He's the hardest to bottle up. I think it's a lot of players that could fit that in the league. I think Steph is very hard to bottle up. I think LeBron James is very hard to bottle up. I think KD is hard to bottle up. I think Jokic is hard to bottle up. I don't know if Giannis is the hardest to do so.
It literally your defensive scheme, it takes the wall. We've heard the term the wall since 2018, and teams have been trying to do that, and year by year he's gotten better at breaking that wall down.
So let me.
The wall is non-existent.
Wouldn't you say that Steph Curry's harder to deal? What did you say that Steph Curry's harder to deal with though?
Not necessarily because Steph's not attacking the hoop like Giannis. Time after time after time, Steph can come down and jack up a 40-footer, and it's kind of like it's nothing you can really do about that.
But it leaves the defense in shambles. They got to play so far up.
I mean, but
pick him up 94.
But that's one person that picks him up 94. You don't have two people pick up Steph 94.
Yeah,
Giannis, when he's going downhill, you got to have three people stop him.
Look at how that impacts, let's say...
Ron, how long has he been the most difficult to bottle up to you, you'd
Giannis,
say? This year?
I would probably say since 2019.
Since 2019.
I would say since 2019.
He got bottled up that year.
He for sure did. But he was still hard. Hey, it took Kawhi and a championship level defense of the Toronto Raptors to really halt him.
Pause that right there. Stop that right there. Okay, how many times have you seen KD bottled up?
I've seen KD bottled up personally, just this last year.
Course.
By a defense.
By a defense.
Out, though.
One time, right?
Out. I've seen him bottle himself up. So that's something that you have to factor in.
But I don't know what bottle yourself up is.
I've seen KD
the same. Pause. Okay, you can tell me after I say this. Tell me after you say this. The same thing. The same thing you just said. You said it took a Kawhi Leonard and a championship level defense. That was what the Boston Celtics just was. A championship level defense.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart, Marcus Smart and that whole roster to bottom up. Out of his whole career, you've seen it happen one time. Mm-hmm. And then you said another reason is he bottomed up himself. Now you can answer that.
It was probably sometimes that happened earlier in his career too.
I think he had some tough games. He had some tough games versus Tony Allen. Very tough game. Remember, I could remember that. He had some great. he had some tough games against Tony Allen, and those wasn't even that's 1-on-1, but that wasn't a whole series like we just seen against Boston where they end up getting swept. So how did he bottom up himself by just missing shots? I
mean, you can break it down to that if you break it down to its simplest form, but just times where it's like, KD, it's time for you to take over. KD, you're KD. KD, you're the best player in the world, or second. You're the second best player in the world. KD, where are you at? KD, you're up 3-1. Okay, now it's 3-2. Oh, now it's 3-3. Now y'all just lost. KD, where have you been? KD, are you
wait?
Where
That's
you at, KD?
Wait. The bottling up is that's the bottom up.
Bro, when you're the second best player in the world, you are expected to be in a championship against the best player in the world. Yeah, KD has had championship expectations, and it just never has quite got there. Outside of Golden State. It just never quite got there.
I honestly, I'm not even gonna get into what championship and expectation and do all that stuff, because now, other than the 3-1 thing, now you're just you're and this year, because 3-1 and then this year, who he had Kyrie, I thought they would have went farther.
It was more than just 3-1 though. That was just 1 year.
That's what I'm saying. Other than 3-1 year, and I'll say
there hasn't been. When we look
there
at
hasn't
Kevin
been
Durant,
so where was
let
he
me
at
tell you why.
before
Let
the
me tell you why. Let 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 me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
When they played
Ron, because this is misinformation. This is misinformation.
Wait. When he played Miami, he averaged 31 points and 7 rebounds.
LeBron couldn't guard him.
Okay.
LeBron couldn't
He
guard
should
him.
have averaged 35.
Stop. So after that year, 2012, he goes to the finals. He goes to the finals in 2012. After that, I think Russ gets hurt in the playoffs. So, he's all alone, and we're not going to hold guys accountable for being all alone. In 2014, he lost to the San Antonio Spurs, who whooped fucking LeBron James and Dwayne Wade's ass. In 2015, Kevin Durant was hurt, so he wasn't in the postseason. Then in 2016, he was up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors. So if you want to use that Golden State Warriors thing and hold that against him, cool. Like, I'm not going to argue against that. But don't sit here and just make some shit up like, oh, we've seen him do this before. We've seen him fold the ball before. When there was other factors that led to him not making the finals. Either the team was the champion, or his guy, or himself, or the other guy was hurt. Like, we just can't lie on that shit and just be like, oh, yeah, just because he didn't make it to the finals.
He had a couple years.
I just gave it a couple years. And then this morning, this guy's in my DM. My DM, this also goes to my point, talking about KD wouldn't be KD. His skill is that he's 6'11", yada yada yada, this, that, and the third. I'm like, what? Like you're mad at you keep saying you like the way he shoots and the way he does all this stuff, but it's easier for him because he's 6'11". So then I said, hey, young guy, because he had to be young. I'm like, it probably Mars burner page. Why at 6'11", right? Let's take away his height, because for some players we do some things we never do for each other. He's also arguing Giannis is the best. I say, yo, who would you rather, right? A 6'2" Kevin Durant or a 6'2" Giannis? And I'm still waiting for his answer.
So basically, Kyrie versus Russell Westbrook.
Thank you very much, Ron.
And you know who I'm taking?
Thank you very much. It's maybe who you are taking, right? So it says seen, right? And it still hasn't responded yet. So the fact of the matter, if you take away Kevin Durant height, and Ron could say somebody like Kyrie, and you could say Russell Westbrook, who's an amazing player. I think Kyrie's better, but I think Russ is one of those, but I think Kyrie's a better basketball player than Russ. What why are we arguing for a 6'11" version of the both if you could have one who Giannis' biggest fan right here just compared him to Russ, and then somebody else, and then what are we doing here? So you can see the skills for a 6'2" guy, because a 6'11" you have to dim it down to make your point valid. Because I would never say let's take away Giannis' height. No, hell no. You know how dope it is to see a 6'11" giraffe run and do all them dunk stuff. Why would I want to take that away? So the fact that I got to find out his name is like, yeah, take away KD's height. Who's he gonna be? No one. Probably won't even make the league. I'm like, You could, if you take away all the greats height. I never heard someone say, "Let's take away LeBron James height. Let's take away." But everything for KD has reached levels where I don't know if it's the Warriors going to the Warriors. It's reaching a level of everything to just deem him like he's not.
Dale, I'm trying to tell you he is, but it's just the fact that outside of the Warrior system, he hasn't done anything significant.
Rod, you watch basketball, and whenever he what you mean? Winning this MVP is not significant?
No, it was cool. We just said one of the best and skilled players ever. So yeah, a MVP, and I'm not trying to knock an MVP, but an MVP is expected from KD. Damn near. If we would have went back to when he was in OKC, the year that they went to the championship, I damn near would have. If you would have asked me over 10, 11 years, 12 years, how many MVPs would KD have? I would think he would have 3 or 4 by now.
But he's not. The thing is not. He doesn't have 3 or 4 because of his play. He was in the era of a prime LeBron James.
No, most definitely. Well, I mean, even, but that's even more so me bigging him up though, saying he was really that good. Like I think he was good enough to steal a couple MVPs from Bron, Steph.
But he was second in votes. He was second. No, well, Russ didn't steal one from Bron.
Well, no, I'm not saying about stealing from anything. I'm just saying he was good enough.
He was second in votes.
Garner those MVPs.
I would say before KD got hurt last year. I think he was the favorite for MVP while he got out last year, before he got hurt with Brooklyn Nets. They were first in the East with James Harden. His numbers was crazy. I think he was the favorite at the time of his injury for the MVP of the season. But he got hurt, and that happened. So his play is his play. The numbers of, I don't know, analytics probably doesn't help him compared to a freak like Giannis. No pun. But when you say basketball and you get mad at Dell for not having to explain this. Oh, if you was on the show before, I've done it time and time again. I think the way he plays basketball, and then the guy who's probably going to respond me now that said take the hideaway stuff. When I read it, I know he's not the only one. It's probably people in the chat that says, yeah, if you take his hideaway, he'll probably be this or probably be that. And that's why I don't have to explain stuff to you, because if you say that for one basketball player and not thinking for the next, is like, why are we even conversating? Because that's like stupidity. It's like now you're like questioning my intelligence of a person that would want to have a conversation with you about that. And Ron, I'm very disappointed in you.
Why are you disappointed in me? Yo, I haven't even really got into why Giannis is really better than KD.
That was the what?
I told you it was start with one thing, but it's multiple layers.
I said, Ron, I need you to tell the people in your own words why you think Giannis is better. Tell them all of that.
I told you one reason why. I said
you told me one good reason
after all-around player. But when you break it all the way down, the reason why Giannis is better than KD, it's called, what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh my God.
Testosterone. That's it.
Testicular fortitude.
Yes, testicular fortitude. Being able to just will your team to a victory. Being overall being a dog.
So KD wasn't a dog. KD wasn't a dog in 2021.
Nah, KD a dog, but remember, poodles are dogs. Yeah, remember that? Yeah.
So
okay.
What KD did in 2021 was
this
similar to a poodle.
Perfectly. I mean, it's a difference between a house dog and a junkyard dog. And Giannis is a junkyard dog. Yeah, KD is that one dog where you say, lay, sit, jump, do a flip.
Jerome Williams. So is Jerome Williams.
Yeah. But you know the difference between Giannis and Jerome Williams.
No, it's not the fact you can't like this. Do you saying Giannis is a dog and KD's not a dog? Is that based on how Giannis play aggressively and KD plays how he plays? That's your reason for saying it, right?
No, my reason for saying it, that is part of it. But my reason for saying it is, bro, being able to will your team through the playoffs as a bus driver and win a championship. To me, that says the most about a basketball player. That says the most about you as a basketball player.
Okay, I don't know the stats. I swear to you, I don't know the stats, but I want to know. How many years Giannis, Morris, I need you, please. How many years has Giannis been in the NBA?
9.
And 9. And you said will his players to where? Will him to where?
championship and winning.
Will him to championship and winning. So
as a bus driver.
As a bus driver. So for the first 9 years, I would say Giannis is ahead of KD of willing his people to championship and winning the championship, right? So how many times, other than the time they won, how many times that Giannis got out the second round, made it to conference finals, and do all that stuff? Does that count to your dog status or no? Because
he did it. Once he did it that one time, everything else is null and void. KD's lost in the first round. KD's lost in the second round. I don't ever go back and say that.
Giannis has been to the conference finals twice.
To the conference kind of how much time KD was on OKC? I don't know the numbers. It was the same twice.
Three. I think it was like 3
he
times.
Went 2011, 2012, 2014, and 2016.
So that's 4 times. And how many times they lost? So before that, was he a dog then, or he still wasn't a dog at that time, though, Ron?
Giannis
he had 2 Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers on his team, and Giannis does not.
Wait, so
James Harden was only there.
James Harden, it was only 1 year.
James Harden left 2012. So you're the fact that people give KD the fact that he played with that James Harden is the weirdest thing to me. But if you want to do it, then fine.
What do you mean that James Harden? He was like, he got a bag like when he went to Houston. Like he was James Harden before.
I'll be saying that like James Harden wasn't
Hold on. You think that James Harden was the same James Harden he is now, or went and became
but he
the
wasn't
Rockets?
trash. He wasn't. He was clearly the best 6 man in the league at that point. Should have been a starter, and you could see with your own 2 eyes that James is about to be a problem.
James leaving and doing what he did, it's been documented by literally the whole NBA. No one thought James was going to become a top 75 player in the NBA leaving the OKC at that time. That's Sam Presti, who drafted James Harden, picked Ibaka over him over money purposes. Like who people is a great drafter, who's a great GM. No one thought James Harden would have been that. Not a soul.
No,
so if you want to use that,
but that doesn't mean that he was not balling for OKC. That doesn't mean that he was not a valid third option for them.
Of course he was a valid third option, right? Okay, let me ask you a question. Was that James Harden better than Klay Thompson as a third option? That people love to hate? Was he better than that?
I wouldn't say so. But at the same time, he was much younger. He wasn't as developed either.
Oh my freaking God, Ron. He was much what?
But he was much younger, but that don't mean that he was
it wasn't
trash,
developed.
though.
Meaning he wasn't what we've seen. I would never call him trash. He just wasn't what we've seen. You just ended something with what I just started. It's not the same James Harden we've seen. Much developed, like you said, and much younger. And James Harden had a terrible playoff run that year.
No, James Harden just showed his true colors.
He was terrible in the finals.
He was in the finals, a terrible finals.
That was a repeat
to
of
cap
more
it
to
off.
come. That was a preview of what was gonna happen in the future in the playoffs.
But top 75, but in the future of the playoffs he'll be this. Like, come on. I understand but don't say, he was playing with 2 Hall of Famers. Like, I'm not. That's like saying Zach LaVine, Karl Anthony Towns, and Andrew Wiggins are the same players they were now. No, they're not the same players. Or Minnesota wouldn't have never let any of them go. I bet if you put them pieces back together, they'll be a little better as a team. No one thinks so. They'll still be the same.
I don't know about Wiggins because I seriously doubted that just because of that trade, he automatically improved. Like he is that player. They just utilized him incorrectly. Or the pieces around him wasn't straight.
I mean, Zach LaVine is just a different
But that, to me, that just speaks on what I'm not trying to sidetrack this conversation here, but this
I know where
is
you're going
always
with
what
it.
I've been saying about the fucking Minnesota
Timberwolves, of course, right.
It's the franchise, not the players.
Well, but it's a lot of players that we can say that left the situation.
No, it's not that. You're fine.
It's a lot of players that we can say that left us.
I think I'm losing brain cells listening to this.
Oh. What did you lose? Which one?
Every single one.
On what take?
I don't think any of you guys are helping each other's out in the points y'all making. I'm just not even going to lie.
No, don't lie. Tell the truth. So tell me.
I don't think with you and your stance, people have more of an understanding on where you're coming from with Kevin Durant. Ron, I don't even know what to say for you, Ron. I just think points are being proven and nothing's being understood.
No, but it's not. No one is gonna understand when I say I think he's the better player. So if I say to you when I watch basketball, which I always say, I think how he plays basketball and what he does on the basketball court, he's better than everybody else, they're not gonna hate that. So if I say pick a kid up and tell him to go watch a player that you want to become, or a better skilled player that I think that uses his skills the best, is skill at that level, and have in a way the same amount of numbers that the impact of a Giannis or whatever, that the game comes so easy to that you could put pieces next to everyone or put them next to anybody and it wouldn't hurt his game.
So there you go. Yo, Dell, like that right there that you just said, like you include that with it. I think I understand where you're coming from. We're watching him and if you want to become better, I understand what you're saying with that. But at the end of the day, I don't think that could push your agenda on why Kevin Durant is better. That's just your personal opinion on watching somebody train, and I don't think that's helpful in a scenario on deciding who's better.
This is the thing, though. Everything here is someone's own personal opinion and personal agenda. This is them wanting to understand me. I'm not trying to push agenda for them to change their mind. This is why people get so lost in all of these things. Because whoever would come up to the show and tell me, they're getting lost
already because nobody understands what you're saying.
No. That's not why they're getting lost. They're getting lost because they want me to make them something to say to change their mind. I'm not trying to change your mind. I don't want to change your mind. I don't have the power to change.
They just want you to put it in a way where they can understand you. And a lot of times you lean on, you be like, no, it's just because I think it's this. No, you're not speaking Spanish, but it's still hard to understand on why those reasonings is why you think he's better.
Because someone's listening, they're like, okay, he thinks he's a better scorer, which I do, but Giannis averages the same amount of points. So how could he be a better scorer?
If you want to split when you talk about KD and Giannis and you split down on their players, their talents like score, dribbling, playmaking, defense, you went with on-ball defense. You thought it was KD. Rim protecting, rebounding. That's Giannis. If you separate it like that, I understand you 100%. But the whole you understanding on the training and who you're training and everything, I don't get that.
That's my point, though. You don't get it, but that's how I look at it. That's me. So if I break it down, every thing KD do on the basketball court, because to him and Giannis, right? Just playing basketball. KD will win most of those. Other than like attacking and dunking or finishing dunking, he'll win most of those.
I agree.
But so would someone like let's say another skillful player. So would probably Kyrie against Giannis, dribbling left, dribbling right. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I don't do it. But if you put those two as the same, has everybody, they go to the numbers. Oh, the numbers says this about Giannis. The impact says this about Giannis. Impact. I don't bring numbers up. I've never brought anything about numbers. So this is my way of breaking it down that I think KD is better. If you come up here and tell me why, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna listen like I did and say, okay. That's it. You're not trying to change my mind or make me understand. The chat wants someone to sit down and write down a whole list of everything. And then another person, I wish I had 18 DMs. Then one of the other DMs I had went to KD is the best player to me, but the way he got swept, I'll let you know if he's the best player in 6 months if I see how the Brooklyn Nets is doing. And it's stuff like that is why I don't like explaining stuff, because no matter if he got swept or not, how he plays basketball the same. He just had a bad season.
There's a lot about you about a basketball player.
We're
playing. Why are we playing basketball? Are you playing to score or are you playing to win? Because now, JD, I'm about to start using up all my cuss words. Why the fuck are we playing basketball? To dribble through our legs and look cute? Or are you trying to win the game? What are you trying to do, Dale? What are you trying to do?
Bro.
So because KD goes behind the back and spins and shoots a step back fadeaway all game, that makes him the best. But at the end of the series, you're on a flight back home to Brooklyn with your head down.
So
what are we talking about?
So you ever heard of a thing called better player and a better team? You never heard of that?
Most definitely, but I don't think the Celtics were that much better than them for them to get swept. Like why KD,
I don't think so. I don't think so either. But don't bring up this narrative of saying the best player did. No, it's a better thing.
But that's my point of saying why certain players are better than Giannis. If you put LeBron on that Brooklyn team, they don't get swept. If you put Giannis on that team, they don't get swept. If you put Kawhi Leonard on that team, they don't get swept. That's the point I'm trying to make, and that's why I think these players are better than KD. Because in certain scenarios, they're going to win more than KD would.
Okay, if you put
I
LeBron
don't care
James
how cute
based
you are
on
with the ball.
if you put LeBron James an amount of games he played last year on the Lakers, they don't make the playoffs.
What you mean?
So, what do you mean? What I mean? That's what happened. They didn't make the playoffs.
I didn't hear what you said.
You said you put LeBron James with Brooklyn. I would argue if you put KD on the Lakers, they would make the playoffs last year. I'm not talking
about regular season. Remember, regular season don't matter. I'm talking about
can we say this?
Oh my God!
This is where I don't like that. This is where I don't like that because let me ask. This is where I don't like that because
oh my God,
B gets a game. I can keep going.
Ron, hold up, bro. This is why I don't like that because if that didn't, let's say that happened to Giannis Antetokounmpo. You would say that wouldn't happen if that was Kevin Durant. No, I'm not saying that. But the thing is, you're saying that wouldn't happen in hindsight. You're looking at, he got swept. None of these other guys. If you was a betting man before that series, nobody was going to bet that shit was going to happen. The shit just happened. And the way that you're saying about this, I can just sit here and say, well, I trust a Kevin Durant not to play like a fucking LeBron James in 2011. And that's why they could have won against the Dallas Mavericks series, which could be valid, but that doesn't make KD the better player. It doesn't make him the better player at all. I just hate those arguments like that because it just doesn't make sense.
It makes sense to Ron, and we just have to sit here and take it because it's opinion.
All right.
And Ron, Ron, I notice what you do. You go on YouTube. The undisputed links pop up, the first take links pop up, and you try to bring those words into our segment like bus driver and all this nut shit. The Charles Barkley narratives.
Bus driver might be the only word that you've heard me say that might be said on those. But
you got a couple.
And I only said that. I only said that because that's what
you don't even agree with that. You don't even agree with that though.
That's what Chuck used, and
I know who used it, but you don't. I don't think you agree with that, Ron.
I don't agree with what?
Do you agree with the bus driver narrative?
For me as players, me and Mars are completely different. Mars takes like when he with all-time greatness and all of that, he uses what do you use for
peak?
Yeah, he uses peak. For me, I highly value championships in the way I view a player. So if you weren't able, if you're the best player or the better player, you're gonna win more.
No, it means your team is
better. Hold on. Who's your greatest of all time?
I got Kareem.
How many chips does he have?
Wait, but hold on, no, because you have to. And you a certain level of skill, has to go in there. I know you're gonna say, oh well, Bill Russell has 11. No,
I would never. I'm not going to Bill Russell. I'm going to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael got 6 too. They both got 6.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's my point. So
I got Michael too though.
Oh, okay, whatever. Kareem has 6. Michael got 6, right? Yeah. How many rings does Kareem have more so than KD on the Warriors than Mike on the Bulls?
What you mean?
All 6 of Kareem rings was he the bus driver?
5. He got 1. Hey, he got 1 in Milwaukee.
So 5 chips. He was the bus drivers.
He wasn't.
It was a toss up. It was like Kobe and Shaq. Well, I'm gonna put it like that. It was like Kobe and Shaq.
Mars, what was it again? Mars, what was it again?
You can say 71 for sure, 80 for sure, 82. Okay,
82 is maybe. I actually seen those numbers.
82. I mean,
yeah, it's a maybe. Whatever. I actually seen those.
87 and 88. No way.
At all. So then that's 2.
Close.
So my point is, you're at worst is 3. So your GOAT, who has 6 rings, has 3, maybe 4, where he's not the bus driver. That how you determine players, this, that, and he's your GOAT.
And now let's put this.
Has 6. He's lost 1 playoff series in the 90s.
And now let's put this into perspective as well. The person who you guys would say was the bus driver on that team those other years is number 3 on my list. So it's like
they should what?
It's right there. Their team.
Your list should be wickeder because you have 2 of the top 3 players ever on 1 and 3. So
yeah, that sounds like a super team.
Doesn't that make it easier for your team to win champions when you have 2 top 5 guys and top 3 guys in NBA?
And honestly, that's another thing. We're not gonna that this KD going to the Warriors thing. I brought it up the other day. Name like other than I would say the Mavs, Pistons, and probably even Giannis winning his championship, right? Name a team that didn't do it with
Kawhi,
Hall of Famers. Wait,
Kawhi,
Kawhi who?
Leonard.
Oh yeah, in Toronto. In Toronto, I did say that one too as well. Name
Okay.
name that didn't do it with Hall of Famers.
Yo, I'm not
I'm just
necessarily.
asking.
I'm not necessarily knocking KD
So,
for those rings. I'm not
you're not-
necessarily knocking him. I'm saying I'm not mad at KD for going and getting those 2 rings. I'm just saying outside of those 2 rings, we haven't seen nothing significant.
Ron, but for you to say that, it's like, Ron, do you watch basketball? Do y'all agree with that? Like,
I
say-
hate taking away people's accomplishments.
Depending
no,
on the
but let's take it away.
bro, depending on
take-
the context, he's not wrong. It's
He was
just-
he was a Hall of Fame, one of the best players ever before he got to Golden State Warriors.
It just depends on the context.
Can
of
we take
what
away
you're looking at.
Shaq's? Can we take away Shaq's 3-peat on the Lakers and see who he was?
Could we take away LeBron James' Miami rings, or it's not valid because he lost the first one? Could we take Bron back to back in Miami, or no? No, right? We can't do that.
Just take away all of Kareem's rings with the Lakers.
We should take away everyone's rings who's ever won.
Only ring should stay is Michael Jordan's in the 90s.
Nasty. All right, let's move. That was a nice little intro to the show. Yeah, a little 45-minute intro for y'all. Let me get these announcements off. We'll get some super chats going. Audio listeners, we're right now sitting at number 38 in the United States for basketball podcasts. I'm going to need you guys to make a huge push for Player's Choice. All you need to do is make sure you download the podcast and please rate and review it. We haven't seen any reviews come through lately, and I read all those, and I love those reviews. I just want to know what you guys think of Player's Choice. I enjoy reading those, so please download, rate, and review. YouTube, we have like 90 YouTube members right now, and I believe if you have not signed up to become a member on the YouTube channel, I believe you get 50% off your first month membership. But also, you don't have to pay to support Player's Choice. The best way and a free way to support Player's Choice. Like the video, share our content, and that is more than enough. I promise you guys just showing up and watching Player's Choice.
Hit the like button, man. 87 likes, 365 watching. Hit the likes, man.
Numbers aren't adding up here. And today, you guys probably don't notice because you're on one of the 3 platforms, but we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter today. We're just trying out some different stuff, man. So
Twitch and Twitter.
Shout out to Twitch. It's been a minute.
Trifecta.
I missed you, man.
YouTube regular and elite members, shout out to y'all. Devontae, Bailey, King J, Zeke, Noel, Clan Leader Predator, 40KOW, ENT, Debates Lounge, Dorian Clayton, Sacred Gaming, Grande Jones, Broctopus, James Daniels, Notorious Divine, Jordan Lembeck, Kieran Woname, Q, Scabaldi, J-Rock123, Lieben Ali, Supreme J, Alex Cammy, Tim Wogren, Tino Bolton, Avi, Ali, Gabe, Christian, Sergio, Jonathan Boyd, number 9, Co Bean, Uncle Tito, Rio Max Sauce, Josh P, 23, Elder, Rufus, Nick T, Bake, K-Dog, Odd Malik, Jagars, Underworld, MC Robinson, Kenyon White, Big Meech, and James Gaz, 123. I appreciate all of our members equally. Those are the elite and regular members. You guys have been crushing the YouTube membership, so shout out to y'all. What else? Oh. Wow. Okay. Amazing. Should we get into the show now, Chad? What do you guys think?
Let's do it. I do have a bone to pick with Dell, though, man. I saw some
Let him have
crazy
it.
shit that you tweeted the other day. I wanted to respond to it. I didn't know what to say. I was flabbergasted. Why the hell do you have belly?
It's overrated.
Why, bro?
I knew exactly where you were going with it, by the way.
Oh, my God. And then
Belly
you double down. I give you he got game. He got game a little bit overrated.
I brought that on this show before about He Got Game and maybe Belly. Both is overrated movies.
You tripping. Belly
But-
for sure not. He got game. I'll give you that.
Why is Belly not overrated? I'm sorry, guys. You're going to have to get this combo.
Because, man, Hype Williams, man, he was
No, Hype,
instrumental
great video.
in
No.
hip-hop music video history, you know what I mean, during that time. And he made a movie, and he made it look like a music video. And then the music, like the soundtrack was crazy. DMX
Oh, he had a
was
good soundtrack for sure,
out
but
of this world.
it's
As
just...
bad as Nas's acting is,
Ex-
he
ex-
wasn't
and I would-
terrible.
But this is the thing, though.
The movie was so good, it carried Nas's acting
It didn't.
performance.
It didn't, and that's what
It did.
you saying. You can't say, "Oh, we're watching a movie," and you got to accept the fact that the only real good acting in there was DMX played his role very well.
No,
And
Method
then-
Man killed it.
Yeah, but
Tyron
Method
Turner
Man wasn't
killed
in
it.
that. Who?
Tyron Turner. Kane from Menace to Society.
Yeah, I was going to Kane, but he had the banana pause scene and all. It wasn't like he had a good 10 seconds. Yeah, exactly. He had a good 10 seconds, but for the whole, there's a couple of scenes in like watching the movie. I'm like
intro, fucking Styles P.
Intro is goated.
His High Times video. The intro
is goated, but as a movie as a whole, bro, Belly's overrated, bro. Belly is very overrated, bro. Nah. And I don't say things like this after I try to watch a movie like 5-6 times, but they do have a couple of classic scenes in there. The Menace to Society scene, the scene when the dude got beat up on the seat naked.
Yeah, you gonna get yours. You gonna get yours, bro.
It's some classic, but as a whole,
man, everything though. When they was at Tommy's crib, like DMX's crib, and it was all black and white with the Thierry Legout paintings in the back. You know what I'm talking about?
Yo, it's but like then it's like even he gets shot, he run. Yo, I want to go to Africa. All that's like, yo, come on, bro.
But that's Nas though.
Yeah, come on, bro.
But that's Nas though.
That's the movie though. That's a big part in the movie though.
What's wrong with that, man? He want to repatriate.
Not
There's
at all.
There's a lot of people that want to repatriate.
Not like that. Not like that. Nah, not like that, bro. I didn't feel it at all. It's some scenes I'm sitting there and watching. I'm like, I'm good. Like he got game the same thing.
That's crazy, man.
The way
the Reverend talked DMX down. Like
I had to get there. I had to watch the movie over and over. I had to get there. Like when I'm watching as a kid. Honestly, I'm loving it. But when I get to college and then I'm overseas and I'm just saying, let me watch Belly, and I'm like,
I'm gonna watch it again. We're gonna have to pick this back up. I'm gonna watch it again tonight or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk basketball.
I knew exactly what it was for.
I'm very disappointed though.
All right, let's get it.
Disappointed.
Eric
I hate Martin as well.
We know that. That. He said this plenty of times.
I don't think he knew it.
Yeah, he must not, because Dell said this plenty of times. Eric Dupree sent a super chat. Said Dell be nice to Mars today. Percocet, where is Steph ranked if he wins one more chip and Finals MVP? Mars.
I don't. This question doesn't apply to me. I don't rank people on accolades.
All right. Well, I was starting with you because you've been quiet. I just wanted to hear your voice. Ron.
Steph gets one more ring. He'd have 5, 2 Finals MVPs. I'm assuming.
No, he'll have 3.
3 Finals MVPs?
No, the KD rings don't count.
KD rings don't count. You can't say he had 5, so say he'll have 3, and then put him in your GOAT list as that way.
Yeah. So he'll have 5. So
exactly.
I give KD his 2 rings in the passenger seat.
Oh my god.
But I'll probably say Steph's in like my.
I'm not getting
7, 8 or 9 range.
Is anyone changing how they rank him if he gets one more ring in Finals MVP?
Well, no, because I think he's the best point guard ever now. So,
is he in your top 10 right now?
I don't think I've done a list in a while. So, ask me in 10 minutes.
Okay. Euro?
Circulating in my brain. Pause.
What was the question? I can't get over that Martin take.
Where are you ranking Steph if he gets one more ring and one more Finals MVP?
All time?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Okay. Dub?
Stop playing with me, bro. Oh, shit.
You thought you muted us, but you took the camera off?
Yeah, I took off, but no, I'm not. Come on, bro.
Not doing this today? All right.
Don't ask me that.
CJ Vincent.
Wait, what happened? Why he don't answer the Steph question? Something happened that I missed.
Dub hates Steph.
Oh, he does?
Oh, you weren't here for the soliloquy.
For real. I mean, I can't really talk because I didn't rank him either. But like for real, like why won't you rank him?
Wait, he hates Steph?
No, I said I don't care. I don't care about the rings or the MVP.
When Dub got his whole soliloquy off on why he doesn't like Steph, and
it was today. I missed that today.
No,
that was last episode. Last episode.
Oh,
yeah,
could you give us like 30 seconds of it?
No, they've seen it already, bro. I can't recuperate that same energy.
Mars, you're good at recuperating stuff.
People meet right Steph Curry, so Dub has to equalize.
Be the person. Okay.
The great equalizer.
That is not
equalizer
what happened.
Dub.
Thanks. Right. I get it.
Moving on.
Thanks,
CJ Vincent, can we stop with the without KSW KD slander? If he did not go there, what would he have done? not play basketball. It is dumb to say, what did he do to win a chip, then remove the chips he won.
I agree.
I agree too.
Gabaldi,
I agree
mute
as
Ron.
well.
He's spewing BS.
Mute him.
KG San. Dell has his way of viewing players the same way Mars views players on their peaks. He's simply just explaining it. Whether you agree or not is up to you. Love is love.
I don't
Fire.
understand that.
MC Robinson, has anyone watched New Jack City in any of the Friday movies? Come on, bro. Any of the Friday movies? I used
New
to watch
Jack
them
City.
we have somebody.
every week.
We have
Doug,
somebody.
Belly or New Jack? Adele?
New Jack.
Okay.
Like that,
I'm not
it's
mad.
not even comparable. I'm mad you put New Jack up against that.
I didn't.
Like,
I mean, I
no,
did.
I'm saying just now. You did.
Yeah. I was
Like,
just asking. I'm trying to gauge you. You know what I'm
He
saying?
has to go up. Belly got to go up against which people might a movie like what's the scary movie? Some shit like that.
What? That's not even the same movie, bro.
Yeah, with like Marlon and all of them.
Menace of Boys in the Hood.
While drinking their juice in the hood. That one. It has to go up against like that. You can't rank it up there with like The Paid in Fools. You can't do that.
Pay the Fool is your top movie?
No, it's better than Belly.
Facts.
My favorite movie is of all time is a chick flick, but when I get into the gangster role, I love Goodfellas. Oh, another overrated
No,
movie.
we talking hood classics
Scarface.
though. No,
Scarface, overrated.
overrated.
Like that
I've
might
still
be
never
more
seen
overrated than Belly.
Still never seen it.
Yeah, I pick Belly over Scarface for sure.
Like wow.
But I
My
can.
sister-
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead. My sister
But-
just watched it and she was just like, "Yo, what am I watching?" I'm like, "Oh, you just gotta wait to the end."
Cerise Duncan says Shoutouts. You fuck with Shoutouts?
Shouters is fire. Shouters is also better than Belly. That's a fact. Shouters is heat. OD heat. Nah, Shouters is better than Belly, bro. What? Nah. Wow. Might watch Shouters today.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Nah, Shouters got Belly, bro.
Bro, if you fuck with Shouters, you should watch Top Boy.
I know.
You would
no,
love Top Boy, bro.
I just haven't watched it. My lady said it's good. I just haven't watched it.
All right.
Yeah. She love it.
Dub isn't here for this Dubaholic love, but
I'm here.
Sharon Rada said New Jack or Juice.
Woo! Juice.
What did somebody say? What they say?
Juice.
I go Juice.
Yeah, Juice. Facts.
Ant Be Bored said love the channel. Hashtag Dubaholics on top.
That's a fact.
Pause.
Yeah, fuck everybody
I
else.
forgot Euro was a Dubaholic. I don't know what
Yeah.
this currency is. I want to say these are Indian rupees, but shout out to Mental Insurance for the super chat. All right, let's get into it. Mars, I got something for you. NBA could implement an in-season tournament as soon as 2023. So Shams tweeted a little bit of basic information of kind of what they know as of right now for what this would entail. So 2023-24, so not this season. It would be next season. The bullet points are cup games through November, 8 teams advance to single elimination final in December, other 22 continue with regular season, all games part of normal 82-game schedule, 1 extra for 2 final teams. Mars, thoughts on this potential in-season tournament?
I might just be a bit slow, but I don't understand.
Say the breakdown of the games. How many more games? Only
Yep.
the finalists play 1 or 2 more games. Yeah.
It says 1 extra, so the final 2 teams just play 1 extra game.
So
all
they-
games.
So the regular
2 +
season
1.
games will be cut down to like, let's say 70, but they still play like 82/83 games.
I don't know how to interpret this. It says all games part of normal 82-game schedule. Okay, so yes, I believe including the tournament, it's still 82 games. The final 2 teams are playing 83 games, I believe is how you would interpret that.
So the tournament would just be regular season games that just get labeled as the tournament.
Yeah, basically.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah, so everybody still ends up playing 82 games.
So nothing changed.
Trash.
Nah, not really, I guess. But
they just
if you're
gave
in
it
the
a fancy
tournament,
name.
your games are in the tournament, and if you're not, then I don't know. You play against somebody else.
So how does that affect seeding for the actual playoffs that matter?
It's nothing, bro. They
I think
don't
it's
care
just
about
for
that. They
the
just want
in-season
people to.
tournament.
They just want people to have more views.
They're
onto
trying to make
something like
regular
this.
season games matter and people watch them, but this just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and they're trying to
I
put
think
up
I
fake
think a
banners,
tournament could.
give out fake trophies,
Yeah, I think a
talk
tournament
about
could,
man-made
but whatever
awards
this
and
is.
shit. I don't like
Yeah,
this at all.
I mean, it was stupid, but I mean, it's a way that they're trying to market it to try to get more views in the NBA. I mean, they're
Didn't the
trying their best.
WNBA try that? They had an in-season tournament, didn't they?
Bro,
Yeah,
ain't
they
nobody
still
ain't,
do.
They
ain't
still
nobody
have it.
The Commissioner's
The
Cup.
Commissioner's Cup,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, yeah, that.
ain't nobody watching WNBA, bro.
But the WNBA, at least it makes sense for them because their season is so short. You know what I mean? And they have to like boost something. I just
Yo, and Dub, don't do that. WNBA go crazy.
No,
But-
no, I mean,
Dub,
no. What the hell are you talking about? I'm not even
Think
gonna say nothing
before you
crazy.
speak,
No, I'm
okay.
not even gonna say nothing crazy.
I
I
have
mean,
a
I just think like I don't know that a tournament won't really help the WNBA like that because not a lot of people's attracted to it. That's all I'm saying.
Isn't it
that's
still-
not the
it's
that's
still
not the players'
82
fault. That's
games,
the
though.
actual WNBA's fault by not like, for example, the number one thing that blows my mind is they had a which team was it? I think it was the Sky. They have Gardner is her name. She's like a 32-year-old rookie, and
Yeah.
it's just because like it's never lined up. Like her overseas career has never lined up to where she actually has the opportunity to play in the WNBA. So like just across the board, I'm not talking about the best of the best and the worst of the worst. I'm talking about across the board. The WNBA doesn't even have the best players available playing in that league. So it's not the best league in the world. You know what I'm saying? And that's what everybody's going off of because of the affiliation with the NBA. But what I'm saying is like you have much better players that play for, I don't know, Fenerbahce or something like that, you know what I'm saying, in Turkey, and they never get the chance and opportunity to play in the WNBA just because of scheduling or whatever the case may be. And so I'm just not with that.
So
Plus,
the talent pool, not all of the talent pool is in the main league that it should be, right? Like the
yeah,
NBA.
and the reason for that is, of course, the money. I think you need to, dump some money into it first and foremost. You know what I mean? I think they did a great job. They broke a bunch of records in terms of like viewership and everything like that, right? Like this is the most viewed regular season. This is the most viewed like Commissioner's Cup since like like the second year or something like that they ran this. This is the most viewed playoffs, and these playoffs have actually been crazy. You know what I'm saying? They have all these athletes, you know what I mean, that are like main characters of like, this grand like picture, like, Sue Bird had her, farewell season and all that good stuff, Candace Parker doing her thing or whatever. So I think even the drama with Liz Cambridge and everything like that, man, I believe in the WNBA product. Let me just say that, you know what I mean? Like I'm a huge fan.
I second
It's
that.
on the come up. It's on the come up for sure.
I love the players, man. They have real fucking athletes that can actually hoop, you know what I'm saying? And I just think it's a huge disservice that the NBA is doing via the WNBA that they don't allow the average, like the bar of, you know what I mean, of just talent and the potential that these players have, not to like be putting that up there because of, the scheduling and all that shit. So they need to pay these players more because, and even the stuff like fucking, look at, what's her name? Paige Beckers, you know what I mean, for UConn. This chick, she stands to make more money in college than she will in the WNBA. Like as you know how the WNBA is going in terms of like how much they're paying their players and the trajectory, how much more money they will be making like 10 years from now or whatever. She can make more money in 4 years at UConn with the NIL deals and stuff like that than in the WNBA in like an entire career of like an average of what, like 7 years or some shit like that, 8 years, which is crazy to me. So like why would Paige Beckers be like, yeah, you know what, after 2 years let me jump into the league for what? She making more money in college.
Nah, you spitting right now. And just to kind of piggyback on that too, WNBA hoop been dope. Them girls been out there playing legit basketball, good basketball, entertaining basketball. It's just y'all get so caught up in dudes dunking from the hash mark, and you get so caught up in windmills and dudes doing crossovers and up and under layups that it's like that's all you guys want to see. And yeah, the NBA is entertaining, but if you like basketball, come on, like you'll like the
They got
WNBA
hoopers,
as well.
man.
They for real got hoopers, like real go-getters.
So Mark Cuban commented on this in-season tournament. He's not a fan. He said, I could see the Mavs not participating at all or resting our best players. I don't know.
But I don't get that angle though, because is it I don't want the seriousness of the games to get my players hurt, because it's not adding more games to your body. It's the same 82 games season. So what is the difference?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out if in-season tournament adds to your total overall record for playoff.
It doesn't.
And that's probably why then, because those games don't necessarily matter for when it actually matters, which is the NBA playoffs.
But then the teams who play more tournament games, they're going to play less regular season games.
Exactly. It still will be an 82-game season.
Records.
It still will be same record. Still going to be 82-game season.
I will say this though. To me, this is the NBA is obviously very well thought out. You know what I mean? They have some incredibly smart minds in terms of like just business and how to like, you know, structure
all about business
to make it, you know, like a attractive product. Fine. So the last time that I remember me not liking whatever they suggested and it actually turned out to be fire was that All-Star game switch up where, you know,
the TBT thing, the Elam ending. Or the
the target score,
target score thing.
Okay,
you know what I mean? So I was like, when I first heard of that, I was like, what? And then they made me eat my words because it was actually fire in terms of people just being like players being more competitive with each other.
Yep.
And so I was like, all right, man, like let's rock with it. And so if they think this is gonna, you know, improve the overall experience for consumers, and it actually works, I'm with it.
Right. So for Mark Cuban to say that, right? So it's basically him saying, like, if we play a regular season game here tonight, you would rest your players, because that you know what I'm saying, that's what I don't understand. It's the same 82 games, just in a different bracket, or he don't want his players to be that locked in so early. You know, I don't get why they won't. He said the Dallas won't play in it. I want to see his angle on that. Like, what is it harming?
What it sounds like to me is just like they just going to give out divisional, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like in the divisions they just make those like play against each other like tournament style or whatever, and then like you a champion of divisions type of shit. But like I don't see how this is, like you said, Mars. How does this affect your seeding in the actual playoffs?
Yeah, that's why I don't understand, which is why I'm confused.
Euro, how did you feel about the play-in tournament when they first announced it?
I didn't have any feelings towards it because to me it was like I'm gonna watch the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like I don't care what happens before.
Right.
Like it was just good. It was just good. It was just good. You know, basketball. But I think the reason the first year of the play-in tournament was the bubble, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I was just looking at the bubble.
No, they made it for the bubble.
And so, to me,
said he's not going
I was just looking at the bubble as an overall basketball experience, and so I was more so focused on that as opposed to a playing tournament. So I really like the bubble. Everybody knows that, man. I've been defending the bubble forever. So,
got you.
The bubble was one of the best basketball we've ever seen, bro. That thing was immaculate.
Bro, I don't know how anyone thinks that the bubble doesn't count when the playing field was even. Like I don't know. I can't comprehend it.
Yeah, the bubble
was
was
think
good.
It doesn't count?
LeBron won. That's why it doesn't count.
To be honest.
All right,
so Giannis.
Phil Jackson thinks that the NBA should add a 4-point shot in a 30-second shot clock. Here's quotes. This is from a Complex article interview with Phil Jackson. He said, why not have a 4-point line about 35 feet out? It wouldn't be long before players will get reasonably comfortable shooting from out there. And having a 4-point line would certainly serve to enable teams to catch up in what are now blowout games.
I think they'll try to
games can now be 50-point, 60-point blowouts too. You can go
I think they'll try that in maybe an All-Star game to see how it pan out. But I don't know if that and the 30-second shot clock is ridiculous. I hope if they had put that in, I'd be highly upset. Like highly. I hated how long the shot clock was in college. I hated it.
This is
like
what
it was 35, I think.
This yes, it was. This was the quote for the 30-second shot clock. This would give offenses more time to get low post players involved, make defenses work harder, and encourage more passing and player movement.
Yeah,
it would make defense impossible.
But he doesn't know how the game is going to develop. Like, this is a change that'll change how people are playing basketball. We don't know if that change is going to shift towards the post now, just because you have more spacing and everything like that. Like, he doesn't know that. Nobody knows that.
And also, too, it's based on coaching philosophy anyways. Like, I don't care if you give Mike D'Antoni a minute shot clock. He's still going to try to get the ball into his primary ball handler, have them come off a pick and roll and score as soon as possible. So like that, expanding the shot clock doesn't really too much change anything with how certain coaches, are going to coach.
If anything, it's going to, in the first few years, it's going to speed up the game. Because how I'm looking at it is, 35 feet, 40 feet or whatever, bro, you walking across half court, like stepping into that shot is much easier than coming off of a screen. Let's get that out the way.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So now the defenses have to pick up way, way earlier, right? Because you don't want to have Dame Lillard, Steph, whoever just walk across half court, just launching some shit for 4 points. You know what I mean? Potentially a 5-point play. You don't want that happening. And so now you have a lot more space. Now guys like, De'Aaron Fox or whoever, they just going to run it down your throat. You know what I mean? Like, and you have all of that, like the game would just pick up. You know what I mean? The half court sets would just be like fake fast breaks, semi-fast breaks. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm looking at most of it.
I think
when we're talking about low posts and all that stuff, Phil, I think you need to be looking at like more like dump offs and everything like that. And so players like Giannis will eat.
I kind of disagree, though, Euro. I don't know that you're extending your defense throughout the duration of the game out to a 4-point line, and I don't think they're chucking up 4-pointers at the clip that I don't know if maybe you're imagining. Like, do you have an idea in your head of how many 4-pointers they would shoot in a game? Because I don't think it would be that much.
But what I'm saying is like somebody like Dame, right? If you don't pick him up and he's like able to walk up to the 4-point line and just pull it, just because the guy doesn't have his hands up or he's like 4 feet away from him or something like that, he's gonna pull that.
Sure.
What I mean? At least once a quarter, twice a quarter. You know what I mean? Like look. Sure. Like let's say he does it once a quarter. 4 times 4 is 16. That's a 32-point swing, bro. What?
Yeah, but statistically, I don't think they even come close to how well they shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah, but that'll increase exponentially and rapidly.
It absolutely will. I mean, like with the 3-point line.
That's all they're going to be practicing. Coaches
Larry
Bird
shot 3 threes a game, five threes a game, and you see how. Just over time, it became more comfortable and more integrated just into a everyday basketball game.
Yeah.
Well, basically, what I'm saying is that we don't know how, if this is actually implemented, we don't know how the game will develop, right? And so for Phil to be like, this is going to favor the post and this and that, like we don't know that. He doesn't know that.
Doesn't the Big Three, don't they have a 4-point line?
The Korean League. I think
the Big Three, 3-point line, same distance.
This is what the NBA should be modeling the All-Star game after, for real. How was it Korean League? It went viral like last year. It was crazy.
I'm very curious if the Big Three. I want to look at stats.
The Big Three has a 4-point line for sure.
Right, and I know that context matters in this. That it's all half court, so it would be a. I understand that it's much different. It's a lot easier to guard that 4-point shot. Are these averages? Leaders, totals, averages. Let's see.
You guys are talking about implementing the 4-point line?
Yeah.
I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to really get into it.
Why?
I just think it's just stupid, bro. I mean, it adds an extra layer for what? For no reason.
To improve the game.
That's not even
playing back. Make it more competitive.
That's not improving the game, or it's not improving the game or anything. I just think you're just trying to get clickbait. It's a clickbait move. You just want it to make everything more appealing, which is cool and everything. But I think the 3-point line was good enough. I don't think you need
Clickbait.
to introduce a 4-point line.
What?
That's for sure. Introducing a 4-point line is solely not even for the game of basketball. It's solely for views. They want to see guys putting up 3-point shots and really like, I don't know, making it more exciting.
So was adding the 3-point line clickbait?
Adding the 3-point line?
Yes.
I think in a way we have to understand it's different times where in today's day basketball for the majority of part has gotten figured out. Back then basketball was in its infancy stages, so there was a lot of things to improve on. There was more things to improve on and more things to get better at. Adding a 3-point line was somewhat rewarding the perimeter players for playing on the perimeter. Now, you adding the 4-point line, there is nothing for the game of basketball where adding a 4-point line does other than just making it more fun or making it more appealing.
That infancy statement is stupid.
You can say it's stupid, bro. At the end of the day,
basketball... It is stupid because 500 years from now, what we're looking at basketball right now, that's infancy too.
No, bro.
Like
basketball started in the
500 years from now when they play basketball.
Bro,
we're
basketball
looking at the 2020s as okay. This was the infancy.
No, because at the end of the day, I believe when you've evolved so far for humans, it's just very hard to just jump the waves, jump from like the 60s.
Oh, so you think evolution is tapering off?
I think evolution is definitely going to happen, but it's not going to be as dramatic as we've seen.
Right, it's tapering off.
Yeah, it's not going to be as dramatic.
Dub, hey, Dub, remember your Uncle Fluid was trying to tell you about this? He tried to spill you the same thing, that you're always going to look back generations and say, oh, this generation's better than this generation, or they weren't as good as us.
I'm not even saying that. Nobody's saying that. What I'm saying, when they introduced the 3-point line, that was in the 70s and 80s. Basketball, they've started having organized basketball back in the 50s and 60s. That's infancy basketball, Euro.
Yeah, but are you hearing what Euro's saying? 200 years from now, we would technically still be.
If we're gonna be real, we don't even know if America will be here in 200 years. If we're gonna be honest, so like honestly, I'm not hearing that. I'm just not.
Just America, Dub. The rest
America,
of
the world, bro. Like I'm not even 200 years. Like, bro, that's such an exaggeration, bro. I'm not worried about 200 years from now. I'm sorry. Maybe for my kids, but for sports, bro, I'm not worried. I'm not looking at things from 200 years.
Do you think that the NBA can sustain viewership and whatnot if they didn't make any changes for the next, call it 50 years?
No, you always have to change. You always have to adapt. And I agree with that. Like you guys was complaining about the tournaments. I say, nah, try the tournaments out, see if that could add more a draw. But just a 4-point line, bro, it's just, I mean, hey, bro, I mean, it's just me. I'm just not a fan of it.
So what about like the hand checking rule and stuff?
Hand checking rule?
What about the D? Since you're talking about clickbaiting, like rule changes and stuff like that, I feel like the NBA definitely went the opposite direction when they didn't allow, like when they got rid of the illegal defense type of shit, or like implemented that. You know what I mean? Because all you had to do is beat your defender, and then you have free lane to the basket. And if you get a couple athletes in the mix, that's all highlights. That's all crazy dunks.
So what was happening in the 80s, where if you look back on some of the games, like they didn't really trust shooting like that at all. So even guys where you would think is like a great 3-point shooter at the time, a lot of times they would help off and go double the big man down low. That's why illegal defenses came into play, because if guys are just helping off and not even respecting their man, it's just ridiculous. So they brought illegal defense to provide more spacing. They took that away, and then in the 2000s, I think guys just, like evolution, they just became better 3-point shooters. But it was very hard to score at that time, so they eliminated the hand checking rule in 2005 completely to make it easier for guys to get off. And then things like the Orlando Magic with the stretch bigs, and then 3-point shooting became more of a thing, and then basketball became to the way that it is today. But like that's why illegal defense became a thing.
Nice history lesson.
Speaking of history lessons, do you guys know who has the most rebounds and most career rebounds in each position, point guard through center?
Wilt Chamberlain center, I believe.
Give me all of them. Who you think for all of them?
Jesus Christ. Point guard's Russell Westbrook or Jason Kidd.
No. Yeah.
Keep going.
Damn.
I wouldn't say
small
any of the
forward-
older guys because they didn't play 82 games the way that all these younger guys are playing. So they have
Wait,
a lot
what?
more rebounds. Oscar Robertson per season, how many games did he play?
He was playing like damn near every game.
Okay, and how many games a season did they have back then?
They were still
Like
playing 82.
82.
Did they
It was
have
more
82?
And they played like
Mhm.
48 minutes, and like very fast paced. I think Oscar Robertson is probably leading the point guards. I think Kobe Bryant.
When did they start?
When did
they start playing 82 games?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm
Here,
not
let
about
me
to
pull
search
this
that.
bad boy up. Boop. All right.
All I
let's
know is
see.
centers Wilt Chamberlain, and I think point guards Russell Westbrook or Jason Kidd.
71, 79, 80, 79, 75, 76, 79, 65. They probably played 82 games. This was 1960-61. He played 71 games. I don't know how many total were in that season, but
See, so he's at a disadvantage already.
But in 63, he played 80 games. So I would assume
60
after 60, 62, 63, they were probably playing at least 80 games. So I don't think it's that far off. But anyway, go ahead, Mars. Okay, so you have...
Wilt Chamberlain,
Yep.
Russell Westbrook or Jason Kidd, one of them.
Shooting guard,
Shooting guard, probably Kobe.
small forward. It's actually a difficult list, I'm not going to lie.
Small forward, you got Larry Bird, but he didn't play very long.
Mm-hmm.
You got
Elgin Baylor,
LeBron. LeBron averaged like 7. Elgin Baylor was averaging like 18 rebounds a game.
Elgin Baylor's the answer.
Matt, it's probably Elgin Baylor. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, power forward.
I don't, Tim Dunn? No.
Dennis Rodman probably.
No, Dennis Rodman wasn't going crazy with the rebounds until like Chicago.
Later on in his career, yeah, you're right about that.
Moses Malone was a center.
I would have never guessed this player, I'll tell you that.
He's probably from the 60s.
But I'm also a casual, so...
Nah, 60. If it's 60s, I'd probably know because Elgin Baylor, small forward, is 60s. So it's probably Kareem's weak era.
What about KG?
Nah, KG. I'm trying to think of guys who KG had the years where he was averaging like 15, but it also tapers off after like 4 years. You need some sustainability.
All right, this is taking way too long. I thought you'd just give me some rapid-fire answers.
I got it.
I mean, everybody
Here.
can Google Mars.
Nah, don't Google.
Here.
Don't Google. Don't
I'm
Google.
putting it up. I'm putting it up. This is what it is.
Okay, yeah. I was
that
Jason
West
Kidd, Kobe
also?
Bryant, Elgin Baylor, Elvin Hayes, and Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, I wasn't getting Elvin Hayes. Okay, good thing we moved.
23 rebound, 23,000, almost 24,000 rebounds. It's crazy. A lot of rebounds.
Was that Wes Unseld?
No.
It was
Where?
Elvin Hayes. He said the
Elvin
5
Hayes.
names.
No, my thing lagged.
Oh,
All right, let's talk about 2022 basketball Hall of Fame inductees. Of course, Manu Ginobili, better than Klay Thompson. Tim Hardaway, Swin Cash, Lindsey Whalen, Marianne Stanley, Bob Huggins, George Karl, Hugh Evans, Lou Hudson, Larry Costello, Del Harris.
Larry
Teresa-
Costello. Wow.
Teresa Shank Grentz. Whoa, this name. Let's see. Radovaj Korak, I think.
You said Del Harris,
Yeah.
Yes.
the coach.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
That's the 2022 Basketball Hall of Fame.
So Manu
only
was the
two
only
players.
first ballot.
So I don't know.
I think he's the
I
first
believe
ballot.
so. I think he retired in 2018, so makes sense.
Yeah, they're not
So-
counting the COVID skip year.
There's only 2 players in basketball history that have these 3: an Olympic gold medal, a EuroLeague title, and an NBA championship.
Mm.
Manu Ginobili and Del, do you know?
Say EuroLeague, NBA chip, and Olympic.
gold medal.
Is it Marc Gasol or Dirk Nowitzki?
No, it's
Marc
neither
does
of
have
those.
EuroLeague title.
Oh, you're
Dirk never played in the EuroLeague.
right.
Shit. Why do I feel like I just seen this somewhere?
Because it just happened.
Is it a guard?
It just happened.
Well,
No,
They-
not
Manu
the
was just inducted, so that's why this information's probably you'd probably just seen.
I'm going to assume the chat's right with this answer.
Chat
but
is right, yeah.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't have guessed
They
it
are.
either.
It's a small forward. Very old. Very
I don't know
old.
any.
It's Bill Bradley. So Manu Ginobili and Bill Bradley are the only ones who have an Olympic gold medal, EuroLeague title, and NBA championship. Pretty fire.
That's cute.
All right, this.
Wow.
I want to get to this one last show, but we weren't able to, so we'll get to it today. Bleacher Reports on the 7th put out a NBA's best villains of the past 10 years, and they rank them. I think there's only 7. I think they only did 7. Yeah, they did 7. Okay. Tell me if you agree, disagree with this list, if you'd put anyone else in here or you'd rank them differently. So starting at number 7 was Jimmy Butler. These are the NBA's best villains of the past 10 years. Number 7 is Jimmy Butler.
How's Jimmy a villain?
Number 6 is LeBron James.
Look at you, meat riding.
Because you meet right him, yeah. That's
Number
why.
five.
Can y'all give me a good reason why he's a villain?
Counterbalance.
Because the way he blew up the dressing room in Minnesota.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah, you got it.
Number 5 is Chris Paul. 4 is Kevin Durant. 3 is James Harden. 2 is Patrick Beverly, and number 1 is Draymond Green. I actually think that's not a bad list.
I think that list is upside down.
You
What?
think Jimmy Butler should be number 1?
Oh, I thought Jimmy.
I went
Butler
from
is
7 to
number
1. I went 7
Alright.
to 1, sorry.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So is that how you would rank those?
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. Maybe KD a little bit higher, especially now.
How's LeBron a villain at all?
Miami Heat.
The
He was for
decision.
sure a villain. They took on the villain role.
And the China situation.
What? What happened there? I always forget.
He's very outspoken when it
never
comes to
mind.
social issues, and then
Yep,
when they
yep.
went crazy on China or whatever, he said nothing because
Yep,
that's he makes a lot of money. So
that's true.
he didn't want to say anything, and people were like, "Oh, look at you, LeBron, fucking hypocrite."
Nah, that is true.
Oh, any comments on this villains list? Do we think it's good? I
I'm
don't.
trying to think of someone.
Could you say it again?
James
I was
Harden-
in a conversation. Say it quickly.
I don't know about James Harden on this list. So going from 7 to 1, Del, we have Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Pat Bev, Draymond Green.
I think Kyrie should be there.
What did Chris Paul do?
Yeah.
James Harden.
Chris Paul's just a dirty NBA player. I think that's why he's a villain. He's ridiculously a dirty NBA player.
Yeah, I think he would be number 1 if people actually knew what the fuck they were watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
Because I
agree.
think a lot of people
don't really
they just
consider
ball
him
watch
like
when they watch NBA. It's like especially the casual fan. Like I rarely watch the ball. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the highlights are for, I guess. But yeah, man, Chris Paul when he's just roaming, he be doing some crazy stuff, man.
I think Kyrie could be there.
Kyrie
think
should be there.
I think Dame could be a villain.
No,
No.
everybody loves Dame.
Yeah, but he
Dame's
could
not
be a
even
villain.
close to being a villain.
I like Dame time in the villainous act.
Is Ben Simmons not a villain?
What about that
No.
that dude
Just a
that
villain,
was
that's how commission.
that was
Villain
saying
of-
these
villain of
anti-Semitic things
Philadelphia.
on Twitch?
Yeah, he's hated.
I'm talking about from Miami Heat. How about
Yeah.
Enes Kanter?
You could be hated, but
Or
not a
Freedom.
villain.
Freedom.
What
Freedom
is his
Kanter.
name, bro? Miles
Myers Leonard.
Leonard.
Myers Leonard.
Myers Leonard. Yeah.
Myers
So-
Leonard.
So
I mean,
why
Miles
we
Bridges is a villain too, then.
mayonnaise?
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Mayonnaise Leonard. Wait, so why are we name like? So why are we naming the like the type of villains? Is it just like What makes them the villain? This list, what makes these 7 the villain?
There's a write-up for each of these as explains
Okay.
why, and I'm not going to read all of them.
Yeah,
but
okay, right.
I'm sure it's
thought
like
it was
popularity
interesting.
ratings and stuff.
I just wanted to hear your guys' input.
Because
on this.
honestly,
Like,
right
I'm
now,
sure it's
the
like
only
a metric. It's like a metric, between like jersey sales and like mentions on Twitter and like if they're like the sentiment is positive and negative and all that stuff.
right now the only villain in the NBA to me is KD. I swear.
Number one,
It's based on
number one right now is for sure.
Has to be up there.
bro. I feel like
Russ probably too.
I feel like Draymond and Pat Bev as 1 and 2 is perfect to me.
What about Trae Young?
He should definitely be a villain as well.
Only in New York.
He's
Really?
Nah, he is for sure a villain, bro. What he was
Only in
doing
New
this
York.
summer was disrespectful.
Seriously, I feel like that's it only applies to New York.
York,
Because outside
yeah.
of that, like, where do you really see Trae Young being a villain? Like, he got those fans
What?
so worked up.
No,
and they
son,
hate
he's
him.
a villain, bro. He's
No
even
one
a
outside
villain.
of New York
He's
hates
even
Trae Young like
see,
that.
that's the casual y'all be talking about, bro. He's even a villain in Miami. Every time he goes in apartments, he's out there trying to embarrass these cats. And I be feeling
Miami
bad,
too.
bro.
Yeah, he's right too. With Miami, him and Jimmy Butler had a little back and forth, and he got crazy today's fans.
Son,
as
he
well.
dropped 50
But not
on.
as-
Nah, bro, come on, son. He's a villain for sure. He's a villain in the NBA.
That
And he
villain
loves it.
neutralized in the playoffs.
Like,
Is he
you know
top
how
5
much
villain?
I think he for sure, yeah, bro. You know how much of a villain you would have to be where your team just beats the Boston Celtics, but they're screaming "fuck Trae Young" when you didn't even play against them, bro. They just started screaming.
Yeah,
Fuck
but that's
Trae
just
Young.
one fan base though. We talking.
Miami
across
don't fuck
the
with him
entire
either, bro.
League.
Across the entire league, he's a villain, bro. He got a little cockiness, swagger to him. I like it though. I like it a lot.
Definitely has
Likes
swagger
talking.
to him.
He talks
So
crap.
who's the superheroes? If we got the villains.
Who's the superheroes?
Giannis,
Butler?
Luka, Jokic.
Yeah, Giannis for sure,
Steph,
superhero.
Giannis,
Steph,
Luka, Jokic,
Steph would
Steph.
be number 1.
Jesus Christ.
I don't
Giannis would
think
be
Steph
number
would be
2.
number 1. I think
Yeah,
Giannis
he
would be
would.
number
As
1.
superheroes, it would be
Dame.
Steph.
Giannis
Dame.
Dame is up there.
Since y'all said Dame can't be a villain for Dame time.
Kawhi.
No,
No.
Kawhi is neutral.
Where
as
would
fuck.
John Morant
Kawhi,
lie? More
when
of a
he beat the
hero or more of a
Warriors?
And
villain?
this
Oh
is
my
the
God,
thing.
he
I
was
think
the
John
Jordan
Morant
Savior.
and Davis. I mean, not and Davis and Edwards. I think both of them. They're like
Villainous.
depending on how it goes. Like
Yeah.
they're either
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
the supervillain or the superhero. Like
Villainous for sure.
they are definitely on that little edge. You know what I mean?
Wait. You said, what was the name I just said? Kawhi?
I think he's neutral.
What's
No.
superheroes be about Cole?
I feel like Kawhi leans more towards a hero than a villain, though.
For sure.
I
bro.
don't know that he would make the top 5 if we're making a top 5 heroes
Does Rudy
list here.
Gobert-
Kawhi's a sober Hancock. He's not.
No,
a,
he's hated.
not
Yeah,
a,
right.
He's
He's
hated.
just
He's not a hero. He's
So
just
He's
right
like-
there.
Hancock.
with
Wherever you
Right,
put
he
Chris,
just
where you
exists.
put Chris Middleton, put Kawhi. It's not the same players, guys. Don't go crazy. Just
Right.
do the same feel as superhero and villain talk.
Right.
Hold on.
I like
I'm
this.
reading.
Okay, I
I'm
like
reading
this.
anti-hero in the chat. Is it like what's the definition of an anti-hero as opposed to a villain?
Let me see what
Right.
Google has to say.
An
What is an
anti-hero.
Because
anti-hero?
I like
This is
anti-hero.
this is Google's definition
He's a
or
hero who
definitions
flirts
from
up with the
Oxford
law.
Languages. A central character in a story, movie, or drama who lacks conventional heroic attributes.
Kawhi.
Wait.
Anti-hero.
No.
He said
hero
lax.
is- No. Oh,
They
he could be an
lack
That again?
anti-hero.
convention. An anti-hero is a central character in a story, movie, or drama who lacks conventional heroic attributes.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
like
la-
you know how Kawhi he just doesn't care, and like caring about
Relax.
others
The
and like the
normal
betterment of
superhero.
everything. You know what I mean? That's like a central attribute.
Okay,
of
Kyrie
superhero.
Irving.
I got you.
Kyrie Irving.
Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
He's a
He's
villain.
a villain, bro.
Kyrie Irving.
He is
What?
not an anti-hero.
So that's
He's
crazy.
an anti-hero, bro.
Maybe for anti-vaxxers. So that's why.
Right.
No, he's a hero for them, bro. He's not an
But no,
anti-hero.
it's Kyrie, bro. He lacks conventional heroes attributes. Kyrie was a hero to a
But
lot
he
of
doesn't
people
lack
this year, bro.
villainous attributes, so he's
He
a
was a
villain,
hero.
brother.
Okay.
Wait. He's
Yo,
on to
hold on.
something. He is on to something.
Okay.
I'm not going to
let
hold
me ask
you.
let me ask you a question, right? What is the villain that Kyrie did? Tell me.
I mean, stomping on Lucky.
That's the
calling people peasants and peons. And
Yeah.
Nah, stop. That's talking to me.
No, he be his arrogance.
He's an anti-hero. He's speaking out. No,
I don't want to say his arrogance. His perceived arrogance. Like everybody.
Right. Exactly.
The
Right.
media
But there's a lot of
perceives
people.
him, and then of course everything is
Right.
narrative based, right? This is a whole
Right.
narrative
Exactly.
driven conversation we're having.
We don't
right now.
know Kyrie behind the scenes, so we cannot talk about it would be disrespectful to put this blanket statement of who Kyrie Irving is. But from what the media does, the media.
That's what I was going to
Okay.
ask you.
All right,
That's
bro.
what I was going to ask you,
You
JD.
said
So
for anti-hero?
is it a media-driven list or we driven?
It's all
our-
media driven, Del, because no one knows these people's personal lives, so like we would never come at them their.
Okay, so
It's
from
all
the
what
media
we see.
perspective,
It's
but I
all what
thought we were
see.
trying to change our own one too. So okay, but I still
mean,
like
from the
Kyrie
media
as an
perspective,
anti-hero.
Russell
I'm pro
Westbrook.
player no matter what.
Right,
Right.
Even the guys that I criticize, I'm in favor.
right,
You know what I mean? So I'm never going to be doing that.
bro. We forgot about Westbrook. Where's he on
Definitely
the
an
spectrum?
anti-hero.
As a villain or what?
I don't.
I mean, I
think
said
so.
if we're going based off like ratings and reactions and online, how you're perceived.
Nah, wow.
I think people are
Kyrie-
just on Westbrook's head, but
Del, I'm not gonna lie, you may be onto something with this
Son,
anti-hero.
he's an
Kyrie.
anti-hero, dub. That's
Son,
it's
I'm
made
not.
for him.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Villain for, like,
Yo,
it's
it's perfectly made for him, bro.
that's kind of
Son,
villainous.
he speaks up for what he believes is
100%.
right, regardless of what people think. You feel me? I'm not
Yo.
hating him right now. Like
Yo, he's an
he stands for what he
anti-hero,
believes
bro.
in, stands 10 toes down, and fuck
Right.
everybody and what they think. And there's a
He's
lot of people that resonate with that.
Well, that's an
Yo,
anti-hero.
Kyrie.
Irving. You may be an anti-hero, son.
I can see
You're
that.
not supposed to be loved. You're supposed to
see
be
that.
hated. But you do
Yo.
everything for the right of yourself and the right for the people around you.
Yo, Kyrie's an anti-hero. Wow.
Bro, I'm about to tear up right now. Oh, just thinking about it,
Oh
son.
my
Holy shit.
All right.
Oh, what about Andrew Tate?
Anti-hero for sure. Free Andrew Tate. Free Andrew Tate, bro. And
Wait, who's Andrew Tate?
Nobody. Don't worry
the most
about it.
Googled man in the US right now.
Well, let me add to his search engine.
Go ahead.
Good luck finding him. He got removed off of everything.
Yeah, he got wiped off the digital.
He's
Go
still
on
bad.
Bumble.
They
Go on
they,
Bumble.
they trumped him. They did
They ain't
crazy.
trumping because he getting like 500,000 people watching him on Bumble, which is
Like,
ridiculous.
one of them.
Dub, I'm talking
No, I
about
don't
the
watch it.
ex-president of the United States. That's what they did to him. They trumped him. All right.
Oh,
Former Lakers former Lakers coach Del Harris. If Shaq had Kobe's mentality, he could have been the best player ever.
facts.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
he's already third for me, so it doesn't make much difference.
Wait, what? What he said? What?
Numero uno. Del Harris said if Shaq had Kobe's mentality, he could have been the best player ever.
Oh, okay.
Can you see that?
Yes.
Uh,
I mean, I hate this, but yes.
But how?
Because
that's
it's
what I was gonna
well-documented-
say.
Because it's well documented that Shaq didn't work hard, and even he said this.
He was a
And
lazy
so,
defender at
and
times.
just by saying that, you know, Kobe's mentality in terms of like him being a workaholic and just outworking everybody, right? If you put that attribute on Shaq and him just like actually doing something, like getting his body more in shape to like optimize his game, I can definitely see that. Like you said, Mars, he's top 3 in your book. He's very high in my book as well. I can definitely see him move up a couple of notches, if not all the notches, and be the best player if he had the right mindset to go with
I
it.
just don't see how hard work makes Shaq better than Michael Jordan.
Nah, Mars. I mean, you gotta understand, hard work can translate to your talents as a player, bro. Like there's a saying like hard work beats talent when talent stops working hard. And Kobe Bryant was very talented and dominant individual who didn't. I'm not gonna say he didn't work hard, but he didn't work as hard as he should have been. So
Who?
Shaq.
He meant to say Shaq, but he said
Oh,
Kobe
okay.
next.
Oh, I said
okay,
Kobe.
okay.
My bad. Kobe was very talented, and I'm not gonna say he didn't work hard, bro. There was times where he'd be lazy, even on the court. There was times
You
he
said
was
it
lazy with
again.
his workout. I said it again. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I'm watching the game. So my mind's somewhere else. But yeah, like
Focus on one thing. You clearly can't multitask.
I got like 3 games I'm watching at the same time. But
Yo.
but if Shaq really started working hard, perfecting his craft, and becoming more skilled as well, like through that hard work, because you could acquire skills through hard work. I mean, who's not to say that he could have been the best?
Chat,
I just don't see it.
I just dropped the
Steph
link.
Curry became the best out of Steph
Let me
Curry
ask
became who
you
he
this.
was because of hard work.
Let me ask you this,
fine.
Mars. Do you think
Stronger
Kobe
ankles.
would be the same person if he didn't have the work ethic?
Pardon?
Do you think Kobe would be the same person in terms of like his ranking if he didn't have the notorious work ethic that he has or had? That's a yes or no answer.
No, probably not. But I think
So
Kobe's game
so
is more
why can't you
predicated
apply that to Shaq?
Because I'm looking at Shaq's game. I'm looking at what I saw. The bad free throws. Okay. He was dominant because of his size, but his size also limited what he was able to do defensively in terms of mobility. So if we're going to say he worked harder to stay in shape, we're also taking away
It's not just
from
working
his
harder
dominance.
though. We're talking about the mentality because Kobe's mentality is not just working harder. Kobe's mentality is I'm not being defeated. And so if he's at the free throw line, right, and that's his Achilles heel, and he's like, you know what, I'm working hard. I'm practicing 1,000 free throws a day or whatever, or 1,000 makes a day, however long that takes me, and I'm trying to get it to like, if it takes me 6 hours, I'm trying to get it down to 3 hours or whatever. Kobe's mentality is like, bro, like I am not letting free throws defeat me. We will not lose games. Like that's a mentality to have. And so like the confidence that comes with that, like it's just more than just the actual work that you put in. And so that's what Dale Harris was saying. Is like if he had Kobe's mentality and it goes into the work that Shaq also didn't put in, it would make him better. No question. It would make anybody better.
It would make him better. I'm not doubting that. I just don't think even if you made Shaq shoot 75% from the line, he's still not better than Michael Jordan. The thing was best player ever. I'm saying I don't think he'd be the best player ever. I already have him number 3. There's not much higher I can put him.
I guess that's a different discussion then, because you just have Michael Jordan number 1 no matter what.
Well, not no matter what.
Yes!
Comes along who's better.
What would it take? What would it take for somebody? So what I'm saying is though, if you have Shaq as that, right? With the Mamba mentality and everything, I would argue that comes with multiple championships as well. At least they would have been able to three-peat that last time around, right? So he would have more championships, and like, what would it take for Shaq to be, or anybody to be ranked higher than Michael Jordan in your book?
I mean, you have to be better than him at basketball. I mean, I'm just looking at Shaq's game. If his weakness was free throws, that's fine.
Okay,
he becomes a better free throw shooter.
80%. He
becomes an 80% free throw shooter. That's still not enough for me to say he's better than Michael Jordan, who's still, to me...
Well, he probably becomes a better defender as well because of his...
But look at how that impacts the game. Look at how that changes the complexion of the game in general, because
you can't foul him.
That rule changes no more.
Yeah, that's fine. You can't foul him intentionally, but he also scored points because people fouled him.
Shaq could become a better defender if he's working harder, bro. I mean, a lot of defense is the amount of work you're willing to put in as well. So Shaquille O'Neal, I highly doubt that he would sit here and let himself get so out of shape. He'll be more mobile. He'll want to dominate on the defensive end as well as the offensive end. There's no way. I just think with the hard work with Kobe Bryant, the mentality of Kobe Bryant, I just don't know how he just doesn't become a better defender, bro. Like, he's gonna look to be more of a monster.
How Shaq weighing that much can become much better on defense than he was. That's
what I actually was waiting for you to say, Mars, until I got off of mute. So the fact that you're saying that goes to Euro and Dove's point. If he worked harder, Shaq game and dominance wasn't really predicated on his weight. If he was if Shaq was in shape, if 2001 Shaq stayed 2001 Shaq right there, that's what they're saying. That amount of dominance.
That's one small
Shaq
aspect.
Still had the same defensive weaknesses as 2000.
No, but this is what I'm saying. If you working hard mentally and getting your game better, if someone is saying Kobe Bryant, you can't do this. The mentality thing is Kobe Bryant, you can't do this, right? Shaq, people say Shaq, you couldn't play defense. He didn't care. They were still winning. You know what I'm saying? He was still eating burgers or whatever the case. If he had the mentality, I must keep my body in shape. Shaq could have been a good defender in the NBA.
He was a good defender when he was.
He could have been a better one.
Because of his size. That's what I'm saying.
What would you say is Kobe's limitation?
No, I'm talking about Shaq's limitation.
I know. I'm asking you a question. What would you say Kobe's limitation was? Just taking bad shots?
I guess.
But he didn't come into the NBA like that. It didn't start from rookie year, sophomore year. He didn't have no limitation. He worked and worked and worked so people could say he could do anything on the basketball court. Became an all-world defender, and everything. So that's what basically they're saying. If he had that mentality, someone say, hey, you have a limitation, work on that, he will be, It's
like Will Chamberlain, right?
But I guess what you're saying, Mars, his game don't change anyway. He's still the same player, which I agree with that as well. But that's basically saying.
I'm just saying I get Shaq can become a better free throw shooter. He can become a better defender. I just don't see how Shaq at that size, even peak Shaq 2000, 2001, at that size, the issue wasn't that. Yes, there were effort issues, which comes from just that much of an offensive load, which happens to everyone, by the way, not just Shaq. Happens to everyone. The issue was he wasn't mobile enough on the perimeter defensively, so he wouldn't step out there. I don't see how Shaq, even with people questioning, oh, you can't do that, I don't see how he all of a sudden gains that ability to become that mobile big that he would need to be.
But he can definitely increase his mobility and his lateral movement by, number one, dropping weight, number two, just actually working on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
number three, having the mentality to be like, you know what, I'm not getting cooked out here on the three-point line like that.
And I think if he drops weight, he's not going to become a much worse player. But I think his dominance offensively does decrease a partial amount to where the defense.
That partial amount doesn't mean
what was
shit.
What was Shaq number with Penny? What was his numbers with Penny?
I don't know numbers.
Bro, he was giving Hakeem work, bro. Like, you're not going to sit here and tell me just because he's losing weight, he's not going to be giving Dikembe Mutombo buckets, bro. Like, you're just not going to sit here and say that.
He will be the best big in the league. 100%.
Yeah, bro. I think I understand your point. I understand your point.
And also,
like, bro, come on, bro.
I don't want to paint the narrative that Shaq wasn't mobile. Like, he was definitely
mobile. He was mobile. Right.
But Mars, you have Shaq 3 all time. Yes. And who do you have 2?
LeBron.
So do you think there's anything that Shaq, like, do you think he would be able, if he had those attributes, like the Kobe mentality and all that other shit or whatever, do you think he would be above LeBron? Or is that LeBron and Jordan is like 1A, 1B type shit? And that's just,
I mean, they are, like, for me, the way I do it, LeBron and Jordan in terms of peak, so like basically neck and neck, but MJ's a bit above. I think there's a case to be made for maybe one season, 2000 Shaq versus MJ and LeBron. I think you could argue it. I think if you went just single one season and you gave Shaq 80% free throw shooting in that season, I think you could argue he's better than MJ.
Can I ask you something? Wait, hold on, wait. Can I ask you something? Because this is very important. The true shooting percentage between Shaq and MJ, what is it? What's the difference between that?
What year? Their whole career?
The peaks that you measure. I know you measured it. You know the peaks. Like, what's the true shooting percentage
for
Shaq's peaks and MJ's peaks? What's the true shooting percentage difference?
Bear with me.
Yo, chat, while we're waiting on this, I dropped the link to join the show in the chat. It's pinned in the YouTube chat. So if you're not watching on YouTube and you want to tap in, go to our YouTube channel right now. At the top of the chat, you'll see a pinned link to come up here and join the show. Come talk about, give your insight or comments, opinions on things that we've talked about today, or really whatever you want to get off. All right, let's do super chats while Mars is doing this. Kid Darkness, would increasing draft odds as a prize be good? I think that was for the tournament, in-season tournament.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Then all the worst teams will be playing for that.
Vari, I agree with Dub. Trey was a villain in this year playing 2 against Cavs.
True. That is true. I forgot about that.
Mars, where are we at here?
I'm pulling up MJ's numbers.
What are we doing right now?
I thought you have a list, because this is the thing. This is my point.
I have a list of best players. I don't have a list of their true shooting.
I just know you just look some shit up like that, so I figured for you to know. My thing is, if you think, because you measure Shaq and his efficiency of offense, I think his true shooting was like 58%. You like that efficiency and whatever. He increases, you just said out your mouth, he increases to an 80% free throw shooter, which helps his true shooting percentages. On top of that, we're saying that he becomes a better defender as well. And you're a guy, comes out your mouth, you have a personal bias of valuing rim protection over anything. So when you got a guy with he's going to be just as efficient as Michael Jordan. He's going to be a better defender, a league defender, a very great defender. And since you value rim protecting way more than MJ and his perimeter defending, I just don't see how in the world you don't think that MJ will be better than Shaq. I mean, Shaq will be better than MJ due to your own bias and your own logic.
I will answer that once I get these MJ numbers.
How long is this gonna take?
I have to, because I'm not gonna just say MJ had a 60% and Shaq
I
had a
want to
58.
bring
I
Mr.
need to
Moss
find
up
the
here,
league average.
but I know adding another voice to this is gonna make your head spin.
Is that Fat Joe?
MJ was 60%, which is about a +7. Shaq was 58, which is about a +6. So it's
So the
basically same.
80% will make him just on the level, or maybe a little bit above MJ. On top of him being a better defender, you value rim protection. You said that out your mouth. I don't see how, by your own logic, he's not better than Michael Jordan. That's all I gotta say.
MJ is also a substantially better playmaker, which is why I'd say MJ is still a better offensive player. Yeah, I think if you want to argue that Shaq with more mobility becomes a better defender than peak Michael Jordan, sure. I mean, you would have made the argument because you care about versatility. If you want to say I should make that argument, once again, sure. I just don't think Shaq's mobility elevates that much. I said it could be a slight improvement, but I don't think it would elevate to the level of MJ being a top 3 perimeter guy in the game and a very good rim protector for a guard. I'm not going to say he's a much better defender than.
I just think
I just think you're
beating around the bush. You don't want to say it because you don't want to jump off the
Yo,
cliff.
I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, 80% free throw shooting Shaq is crazy though.
It's OD, bro. And then on top of it, a great defender, bro. Like that's insane.
I'm just 80% at the line for Shaq is
It's
insane.
not just individually. Like the game today would be different because there would be no hack-a-Shaq.
No, even so though, even back then, today, whenever he's getting fouled regardless.
They would have done it to other people, but the name wouldn't have been as cool.
Yeah, but it's not. But the thing is, the league wouldn't be as forced as much as Shaq forced him to change the rule about it though, because who was actually that dominant to where like, you know what, we're just gonna like it ruined TV. You know what I'm saying? It ruined the watching experience, and it was only Shaq, and they were prime time. So like, what other guy was as dominant, as like much of a factor and impactful on the court?
And
that's much later. That's much later.
6-7 years, but that's when it would have happened, probably.
But
yeah,
Dwight
is crazy.
Dwight wasn't as dominating on the block as Shaq either.
He wasn't as dominant as Shaq.
No, he wasn't, but you still fouled Dwight instead of.
Yeah, they started hacking Shaq and DeAndre Jordan. It just was something that they did.
They did that. They did that. Not even when DeAndre had the ball. They just did that so the Clippers.
Right. So my point is Shaq on the block, boom, boom. Like Shaq, 80% Shaq. He caused double teams, whereas Dwight, they would just foul him. He'd get the ball. It's not like, we can't guard you back to the basket. Like Shaq was, we can't guard you back to the basket.
It's different. I mean, Dwight's not Shaq, but I'm assuming that's when teams would have started.
That would have been. I can't even imagine that. That would have been unfair. Like, there's nothing you can do with that man.
All right, I'm about to bring Mr. Moss up here, but first, super chat. Andrew G. Great show, guys. 2K is nasty for having Zion, the same as Jaylen Brown at 87 overall. Brown's an elite two-way player and shows up when you need him to. Zion Williamson also missed an entire season, so 87 is pretty generous. All right, let's get Moss in here.
Yo, I have a question. How did we talk about?
What's up, fellas?
Pat Bevan, what's the name? Pat Bev being higher than Russ on 2K rating?
I think they're the same overall. I think they're both 70.
Wow.
That's so gross.
That's so disrespectful, bro. Hey, Dale, bro. I ain't no fucking Fat Joe, bro. I'm 6'2", 225, man. Stop it, bro.
What that mean?
Fat Joe.
What that mean?
Hey, Mars.
What that mean?
No. It means nothing, Dale. It means nothing. Hey, and for the record, man, a peak MJ and a peak LeBron James ain't no goddamn neck and neck. Let's kill that narrative right now. He a taller Fat Joe.
Mr. Miles always coming in here with the smoke.
Hold on, bro.
Ready to go.
Dude.
Hot sauce.
Hold on, bro. Ain't no dude who got outscored by a bench player in the finals ever neck and neck with a fucking MJ. Let's cut that narrative right now. Anyways, Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, he's mobile. He's agile. defensively, is he that guy? When he had to be, he was, if that makes sense. But to say that he would have been better than MJ defensively if he lost some weight, the only big man I could see on MJ's level, or even Scottie or Kawhi Leonard, defensively, is Akeem Olajuwon, because he wasn't a very big, like in girth center. He was more of a taller, lengthier, more in shape center who can, play the pick and roll, move his feet lateral, switch out on twos and threes, and somewhat hold his own. But there's no way in hell I will ever take a big man defensively over any perimeter player, because let's face it, a perimeter guy can affect the game defensively on the perimeter, and he can dig down low and still have some type of impact down in the paint. A big man can't go out on the perimeter and have any impact for the most part, unless you're honestly, I don't know. I mean, Hakeem. I mean, come on, that's crazy, bro. Stop it.
Wait, who you talking about, me or Mars?
No, nobody, bro. I mean, just the topic. I mean, listen, I think Shaq was good for what he was, and when he had to be good on defense, he was. Now, listen, did guys hurt him? No. I mean, guys went at him, but if he switched out like on a perimeter play, listen, in that Kings-Lakers series, right, I thought that Mike Bibby, Bobby Jackson torched Shaq at times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now back then, it wasn't more of a pick-and-roll game like it is now, but on occasions, like, bro. And then, too, good coaching is not going to let your center be in those bad positions. So Phil Jackson never had Shaq in those positions where he had to be that defensive, elite guy playing smaller guys. Am I right? I mean, is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It was
good coaching is not
the
just one side. There are other good coaches on the other end that
I
run
agree.
schemes to get Shaq up out of there too. So like,
yeah. No. I totally agree with you guys, man. But listen, man, I think if Shaq lost weight and he gave you in the mid, or let's just say high 70s, 80% free throw shooting, I do think that he would be a top 5 player. I think Shaq.
What do you have him now?
He's like 11, 12, 13. He's not in my top 10.
Who is this?
Whoa.
Sorry.
Shaquille O'Neal. I don't think he's He's not in my top 10. Because again, I value work ethic, and I value the mentality, and I value a guy working on his weakness. And there were times where Shaquille O'Neal was a deficit in winning time because he was damn near non-playable because of the free throw shooting. Now, granted, he made free throws on occasions when it mattered the most. I'm gonna give him that. But was it consistent? Not at all.
So that's perfect, because you say you value work ethic and everything like that. Do you think that if Shaq had Kobe's work ethic, he would break into your top 10?
Hands down, bro. Euro, hands down. Because listen, man, Kobe told us. Kobe was in the workout room working in the summer while Shaq's with his uncle eating, onion burgers and at the club and shit, right? And so listen, Shaq was so great and so elite, he was still able to dominate without even being in top shape. But Shaq always came into the season and played his way into shape. And to me, that wasn't fair to Kobe being Bryant. Listen, man, and the reason why I value Kobe Bryant so high is because of two things. One is he's just going to keep coming. I mean, he's just going to keep coming. And then two, he didn't care about missing the last shot or missing shots. Well, yeah, Dale, come on, bro. Hey, hold on. Hey. For the record, bro. Hold on, fellas. For the record, when I first came on, bro, I didn't like Dale because he was kind of, I don't know, but as of late, Dale, you've been on point, bro. I gotta keep real, bro. You've been on point with your shit.
Yo, everyone just has to get to know me, bro. I'm just I'm just a great, simple guy. I'm just,
You cool, man. You cool, man.
That's all, bro.
I won't keep you guys.
Dale's first conversation with everybody is he acts like he has known you for like years.
right.
Yeah,
that's the problem. This is the craziest shit, man. The first thing that he said, I came on the show, he was like, bro,
right,
I jumped on you. I was like, what? Never in life, but whatever.
It's welcoming, and it was just your teammate. I thought it was you, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask you as a question, man. And so what I'm about to say, I mean this, bro. Don't you guys feel like in the fourth quarter in winning time, all that true shooting, fake ass Daryl Morey stats that he fucking came up with, and fucking Ron Hollinger stats, all these true shooting, defensive win shares, and blah blah blah. At the end of the day, in winning time, doesn't that get kind of thrown out the window? I mean, doesn't it come down to Imano versus Imano?
Yeah, your skill set versus.
Yeah. Your skill set. your skill set versus my skill set. So if that's the case, then Euro.
But I'm not tossing it out the window because in order for you to even be in a game where it's considered quote unquote winning time, where the game is still up in the air, you have to have those things. You know what I mean? You have to be good at those things. Like you have to have percentage and everything like that.
Yes.
In order for yourself to be in a position to even then potentially win the game. So
I'm not
tossing it out the window.
No. It plays a part. I'm not poo-pooing that. But why do we put so much emphasis on that? Because Mars is a stat king. That's why I call him I'll call Mars the Black QB Brown because he just spews stats off. I call him like the Black QB Brown or the Duck Collins. And trust me, those are my two favorite announcers calling games because they walk you through a game, which is amazing. But at the end of the day, fellas, don't you feel like give me the basketball? I'm gonna let my skill set just rise to the occasion. All these, you know, I call them Daryl Morey stats. But I mean, like, why do we value that for? Because because when you're talking about you're talking about Shaq, right? And you were focusing on him being like not in shape, like him, you know, showing up out of shape and kind of like playing his way into shape or whatever. Correct.
We can take a player that doesn't have the work ethic, you know what I mean, but that's been in shape since day one of the season, like Allen Iverson, for example, right? That dude been in the club before the game, after the game. Whatever, man. He's probably in the you know what I mean, in the club more times, you know, tossing money.
He's probably in the club right now.
I thought that's what he was gonna say.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Right so it's like with Shaq, I understand where you're coming from because you focusing on, you know, the in shape part. But with Allen Iverson, obviously this is one of the better conditioned athletes that we've seen. You know what I mean? Especially when we're talking about him not actually ever doing anything for it. Right. So, like, how does that, like, you know what I mean? Like, where does your argument go there when we're talking about him? And how much better do you think Allen Iverson would be if he had, you know, the Kobe, and I don't want to say, like, Kobe mentality because I feel like he definitely had that, but he definitely didn't have the work ethic.
Well, I think there's one aspect when it comes to AI, and trust me, man, I love AI's mentality because, again, he's a guy who just keeps coming, right? But I think with Iverson, fellas, it's his size. So he was always going to be limited to a certain degree.
Hold on, bro. How many people gonna come in now AI size, yo? JD, when you bring guests up there, you have to give them the stipulation to they can't like AI.
No, you're the only one that does this.
You let me finish.
Nah. You're the only one that does this.
No, he said AI gotta come and then AI size and all
Dale,
that.
Stop.
Dale, I'll be right back, bro. Cause y'all. HR Euro, you can't stop
I'm
Euro.
Confused
what I'm doing?
You gotta pause him.
I told you, man.
We're talking basketball.
I'm not with the pauses no more, bro.
That's
what
we're talking basketball today, and I said pause earlier, but I'm not doing
don't apologize, Maz.
No, man. We're politically correct, bro. Maz, if you want to say some crazy shit, say some crazy shit, man.
Well, listen, fellas.
Nothing.
When I say Iverson's size was always going to be his downfall, it was because he can give you 30 points a game and not be efficient. But his size plays a role, right? It's hard for a major guard outside of Isaiah or Steph Curry who really dominated the game from that standpoint. Iverson can only take you so far because even as great as he was in game one on his birthday in 2001 when he dropped 48 points in overtime, his size couldn't overcome because even though Iverson is going to keep coming, at some point, listen, for example, right? If you have two technicians in boxing, right? And they're the exact same boxer.
Okay, no, I get you.
One guy's bigger.
So what you're saying is like his work ethic, right, has nothing to do with his success in the NBA.
No, straight skills, bro. Listen, bro. He's God gifted.
I don't believe that. I mean, I believe that part. I believe he's God gifted for sure. Bro. But like, bro, you don't think he'd be better, even just like a little bit, if he worked harder?
No. Can I tell you why?
That's crazy.
Because hold on, Euro. His speed on the court, you can't even. That shit don't grow on trees, bro. Listen, have you ever seen Iverson play in person?
Yes, live.
Trust me, bro. Is that shit fair? Be honest. Is it fair? How fast he is?
Of course,
exactly. Not. So listen, some things are just God gifted, and I can work my ass off in the gym, but I'm just God gifted. You know what I'm saying? And so for Iverson, to me, that's just what it is. I think we saw a peak Iverson in 2001, and he could never eclipse that ever because that was his highest peak. In 2001.
And that's true for every player. They have a peak and they can never eclipse their peak. Like, I don't know what you're saying with that.
No, we've seen players eclipse their peaks before. No, we
Yeah,
have, bro. We have.
And that becomes their new peak, like the climax of their, you know what I mean, of their careers. Like, you know what I mean, this is the best performance that they ever put on over a stretch of, you know, of whatever, a season or however many games. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so
so you're off the AI train. You're on it.
What'd you say,
You
bro?
broke up. What'd you say?
You're off the AI train, or you're on it, Mass?
No, bro. I'm definitely on it, bro. Listen, you can't poo-poo his mentality. You can't poo-poo what he did for the game of basketball and his work. I mean, just his game alone. So no. I'm on it. I'm just saying, I think if he was 6'6" with that same skill set, Lord have mercy. I mean, it would be scary. It would be scary.
Mm-hmm. What was the last thing you wanted to get off, Moss?
Yeah. Just real quick, guys. I want to give Kobe Bryant just a little bit of love if it's okay. He's the reason why, you know what I'm saying, I love the game the way I do. I'm here in Sacramento, and right now they're tearing down the current Old Arco Arena, and it's like bittersweet because, I mean, I literally live across the street from Arco Arena, and we're talking about memories, right? 2001, game sevens, him dropping 48 points in game 4 when he swept the Kings. So I've seen Kobe Bean Bryant, you know, grow up and just become the player he is. So I guess my question is this. You know, why is he overlooked? Why is he not a top 5 player? He's a 5-time NBA world champion. 5. He's a two-way.
Most people have him top 5.
No. I mean, not well. Chilton has Chilton has him in 11, but then he'll praise a guy who got outplayed by Jason Terry off the bench. But I mean, whatever. But Kobe Bean Bryant is a two-way player, and a lot of times in our top 10 list, why do we praise one side of the basketball? Like, how can you ever put a guy over another guy if one guy's a two-way player? The game's played 2 ways, fellas, and some guys don't play the game 2 ways. I mean,
the game's played 2 ways, but you have to judge it by the impact on what they do on that side of the floor, and does that carry more weight than someone that is a two-way player? Because there's two-way players in the NBA who aren't a superstar, right?
Agree. Yeah,
but
we're
not going to rank that person over a Kevin Durant if you're not going to consider Kevin Durant a two-way player. Is Kevin Durant's impact on the offensive side of the floor more impactful than, I don't care, list whoever player
Jimmy Butler.
Sure. Is it more impactful than Jimmy Butler's two-way play?
I think it is.
You know what, Jay, I say
how
to
do you
that?
rank that?
You know what I say to that? I think that could apply for some people, but at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant, he brings impact, and his impact is ridiculous, and his impact is felt the same way that a LeBron James, a Michael Jordan, Tim.
Oh yeah, and I wasn't saying this to knock Kobe Bryant at all. I was going to the point of Moss saying, why do we only look at one side of the floor?
I gotta get this off real quick, bro. If you guys don't mind, I'm sorry. Last point, and then I'll go. How much and I guess this question's for Euro. How much do you value leadership, structure, discipline? When a guy walks through your tunnels as an organization, he demands a certain type of respect, a certain type of aura. Obviously, Jenny Buss tweeted a month ago, says, it's like she went like on a tangent, says, blah, blah, blah. I miss Kobe Bean Bryant. To me, she's venting, right? She's saying, man, like, I wish I had. To me, this is how I translated what she said in her tweet, her famous tweet. And to me, she's just saying, man, I miss Kobe. And to me, it's not all about basketball. It's just his intangibles and his aura that he brought around the, office or whatnot.
I agree with that.
How do you value?
I value that very, very high. I agree with Jeannie, but I think that she is looking at it from like what she prefers in a leader, and I think leadership comes in many different forms. I value LeBron's leadership very, very highly, but I don't think it's exactly the same as Kobe's for sure. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like. I just think it's different. And I think LeBron, he wants the same way that he did it with Cleveland, the same way that he did it in Miami or whatever. And then Cleveland the second time, I think he needs his team to be a certain way. And I think the Lakers way has traditionally been different from that. And I think this is where the
you play ball, Euro? You play?
Yeah.
If
Not
your
anymore,
best
I'm
player,
retired, but I played overseas, yeah.
Okay, Dale and Euro. If your best player overseas were passive aggressive, sending cryptic tweets, you know what I'm saying, doing some faulty, sneaky shit,
Yeah,
Does that affect you guys? Okay,
yeah,
thank
for
you.
sure.
Okay, cool.
For sure.
All right.
But here's the thing: when we're talking about the environment now, because here's the thing: you can have that player in an environment and cater to him if he's your leader and he's your number one guy. You can structure your team around that type of player, where he doesn't send those cryptic tweets and shit like that. Because here's the thing: just because LeBron is cryptic, all that means is he's quote unquote unhappy. Kobe was unhappy before, and he's just not like on social media with it, but he's going to make everybody feel uncomfortable. Don't nobody fucking talk to me. This is this, that, whatever. You know what I mean? Everybody's soft, bro. Everybody take my shoes off, toss them shit in the trash.
But you don't value honesty? You don't value honesty, Euro, inside locker room?
You don't know if LeBron is honest or not, because if you don't know if LeBron is stepping to players and be like, "Fam, like I said this on social media, and this is what I meant by it." Like, yeah, what? You know what I'm saying?
I give you that. That's fair.
Nobody has ever said anything about LeBron being a snake. I've never heard that.
Hold on, bro. D Wade got traded a day after. Look,
that was Pat. That was Pat.
No. Cavaliers, bro. Hold on, bro.
They had a meeting about that. They had
yeah. In practice, D Wade asked LeBron James, bro, am I getting traded? He says no. The very next day, he got traded, bro. And LeBron James said, quote, he knew nothing about it, bro. He's a fucking snake. But anyways, hey fellas, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Great show.
What an ending.
Hey, great show, man. Hey, man, this show is fire, bro. All right, fellas.
All right, Moss.
Sorry, man. Much
Yo,
love.
that was a crazy outro. Andrew G, MJ's the GOAT, not close, had no weakness except 3-point shot, but you can't force him to shoot that on defense. Top 10 defender, number 1 offensive. Thank you for the super chat, Andrew G. All right, let's bring Emil.
What's good?
Did I say your name right?
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Hey, Dale, I got a question. This is coming from a BK
You gotta sit up.
I've been summoned.
This is coming
What's
from
up?
a big KD fan myself. But you said that like your reasoning for KD being better than Giannis is if you go to a park, right? You said
You can pick any gym though where you like to play basketball.
Okay, any gym.
Yeah.
Okay. You said that if you had to show people.
Right. If I have to pick someone, like look at the skills of a person, this, that, and the third, that accumulates to great success, I will go there.
Okay. So what about if you had to choose between Jason Tatum and Giannis?
But this is the thing. I also brought up you could make that case for everyone. That's why I said that, because you could say the same about Kyrie Irving and Giannis. I said that. So I didn't leave it as the skills the only factor. That was just my reasoning. So I see where you was trying to get there, but you didn't listen to the whole thing, because I brought up Kyrie and Giannis also in that same thing, who's also more skillful than Giannis. So that was good though. Good try. You had to listen to the whole thing. I know. I saw where you was going.
Get
but
him
that's
back,
why I
man. Get him back.
Yeah, come on. Come back with some heat,
It's
please.
not come back, but I brought up Kyrie. I might have.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking to him.
We're talking about Neil, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing I can really say to change their mind, and I'm not.
No, it's not about changing my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, what's good, bro? How's everything?
This is one of your peoples.
He be on TikTok, makes a lot of good videos, bro. I love his content. He was agreeing. He brought up you know what he did, and I was so disappointed,
he was spitting
bro.
facts about the Shaq.
No, you said some bullshit, bro. Oh my god.
I'm going back on mute because now y'all could have y'all little fanboy.
Nah, son. He said that. I never thought that this was gonna be brought up again. He did the same thing that Mars did with Shaq to measure the efficiency of the offense with the free throws. He did the same exact thing that Mars did like a few months ago, and it just broke my heart, bro.
Why? What was it?
He's correct. That's what it is.
He was like, "Oh well."
Let him speak. Let him speak.
Go ahead.
What's Dub talking about?
So basically, if you take the points per possession in the 2000s, I did the 2000 season. If you take that, they were averaging like roughly 0.8 points per possession. Mm-hmm. So if you take that and you compare that to Shaq going to the free throw line every possession, and he shot 50-something%. So him scoring 1 point would still be more efficient offense than a lot of teams in the 2000s.
If you kept him on the court and him just getting fouled all the time.
Yes, and that's just hypothetically speaking if he got fouled every single possession. That's
hypothetically also includes ideally speaking, because ideally you would want him to shoot that 50% every trip, which he may hit 8 for 8 in the first half and then go 0 for 8 the second half. That's still 50. And that's obviously not winning you the game when you have him in quote-unquote winning time on the court.
I mean, yeah, that is true, but you're also factoring other things like the team being in a bonus. You're putting the other team in foul trouble. I mean, it's still a hypothetical, but it was just like a clapback at people who think like Shaq's free throw was a detriment to his team. It really wasn't.
I mean, I never made that case, but yeah.
Nah, that's really all it was.
And Dub is saying that's nasty. Like he definitely thinks that it's a detriment.
I really don't know what Dub is saying.
Dub, unmute yourself, man.
I mean, he disagreed when I said it, so he just disagrees again months later. So.
Oh, okay. No. The thing is, when you look at that, at the end of the day, let me turn this shit off because.
Yeah, focus up, man, because you might be cooked just now.
No. The thing is that I hate about it. I don't care if you say that was a weakness. At the end of the day, bro, it is a weakness in this game, and we just all have to acknowledge that because at the end of the day, when you down, especially late in the fourth quarter, you're going to send his ass to the line. That way, your team can either come back or you can keep them from gaining momentum. So the whole thing, when we're talking about Shaq and his scoring, like I can understand on it wasn't a detriment to his team, but that's mainly because the team was so great. I mean, they were above, I think they shot as a team like 83 or like 84% as a team. That wasn't because of him. That was because the team was such a great free throw shooting team, so they were able to overcome those deficiencies. It wasn't because of him as a player. It's because the team was so great they was able to overcome that.
The team shot 70%.
78%, that's what it was.
69.6. They were
no.
3 in the NBA.
I seen the stat. I seen
20% drop off.
No. My bad. I seen the stat when you looked at everybody else outside of Shaq. I think it was like 83. Okay. That's my bad. I should have said that. But that's what it was, and they were able to overcome that because of them. And Shaq, I think, is very impressive that the Lakers, despite that, they were still very able to dominate the way that they did.
Mute your TV, Jesus. God, bro. Oh my God!
You're gonna have us banned just off of that, man. Broadcasting some
crazy
network that we don't own.
Emil, you got anything else to get off your chest?
And I'm tired of people using outside factors that don't include the actual game of basketball to determine how they rank their players. I think it's kind of dumb. Just wanted to get that off my chest.
Give me an example.
The last person, I mean, I value mentality and work ethic. How do you know who has a better mentality? You aren't there with them. You aren't there watching them work out. I think it's just kind of dumb because there's really no talking point you can use against that. Like, how am I going to argue who has a better work ethic? I'm not in the gym with them.
Two things that you can still value it. I agree to an extent of maybe it's not easily measured from our perspective, but I hear what you're saying, but I think you could still value that aspect for sure, if that makes sense.
How can you value something you don't know?
Yeah, that's all.
Well, would you not value someone's mentality? I'm saying you can still value it, but you may not necessarily be able to measure it on your own. Say like, man, his mentality, blah, 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 whatever. But you could still say, I want my players to have this certain mentality. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I mean,
how do you know if they have that mentality or not?
That's what I'm saying. You can still value it, but you're not saying he for sure has this mentality.
But then you can't rank someone based off.
Well, you could.
Okay. I understand that. You're not hearing what I'm saying, but it's fine.
As a player, do you think Kobe and AI had the same mentality?
Yes.
No, not you. I'm asking Mars and.
Well, I think they had. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, Kobe has a mentality named after him. Other than that, I don't know.
So, based on how the game went for both of them, let's say who's a player out? Let's name any players. You can't watch and see the development of a player, and let's say like a T-Mac, Vince Carter, even Kobe Bryant, all the players that was in his class or compared to him at a stage in time, even Allen Iverson. What makes Kobe reach level of greatness better than those kind of player that was once his peer? That's what I'm asking y'all. What do y'all think it is?
I don't know. It just happens. I'm not here to ask why it happens. It happens, and I judge based on what happens. It's the same people like when you talk about religion. Oh, I don't believe in God. So how was the earth made? I don't care. I'm here. Like, let's talk about what's actually going on. I don't care how the things happen. I care about what happens, and that's what I'm going to talk about. If you get what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So you
You
look
don't
at
care why things
yeah,
happen. You don't care why things happen.
No,
You don't
no,
care
don't
why.
make it seem like I don't care about context, because that's what we were trying to do.
That's what you're
no,
saying.
I'm not saying
I
he don't care about context.
how Kobe got to the point of he was better than T-Mac. I don't know the reason. I can't prove the reason, so I'm not going to talk about it.
But T-Mac could
What I'm
tell
gonna
you the
talk about is
reason.
how
He
they
reason said his mentality to go in the gym to work to be better is the reason he got better than me. That's and I think that's proven
what
seen.
T-Mac can say. I don't
If
care.
you start at a level and
What?
it's
If somebody tells you, okay, wait, Mars, that doesn't make see, and that's ignorance, Mars. You can't sit here and the guy sat word for word out his damn mouth why this thing happened, and you just say, well, I don't care. What? That makes no sense, bro. If I tell you why,
how does that not make sense? He could say he doesn't care.
If I tell y'all,
he said I don't care. He didn't say that didn't happen. He said I don't care.
Yeah, that's just ignorance.
No. He could not care. He could not care. But him saying that,
I'm not ignoring what he said. I said I don't care.
Well, you did. You said, how could I not know the mentality? Now you're knowing it. Like it's some.
Yeah, and
I could agree with y'all to an extent.
How do I?
But it's some situations where it's like you know a person. Honestly, you just know a player. You could just see that. Oh, they don't work. Like you just know that they could have been better if they, like a Lamar Odom. Like me personally, knowing Lamar, if Lamar would have let's get his mind right or mental right, he could have been a different. They could have been different basketball players. So I guess that's me knowing an extent of their story, other than you guys just watching. So I don't know, but mentality is
let's
a real
move.
thing.
Let's move. Let's get off this.
If I can't apply it to everyone, I'm not going to value it for some people and not for others. That's what I'm trying to say.
But you can't apply mentality to everyone because everyone doesn't have the same mentality though.
No, it's not. I can't apply mentality to everyone. I'm saying if I can't. T-Mac said what he said about his mentality versus Kobe. That's fine. I don't have anecdotes from every player about every player's mentality, so I can't value mentality as a reason to rank someone if I can't have information on everyone's mentality, because then I'm just giving other people advantages that other people don't have.
Okay, understand. One more question. Do you think a player could be more competitive than another player, or you have to know that as well?
I mean, they can be. I don't know how I'd prove it.
Oh, okay.
If I can't prove something, I'm not going to value it.
Let's move. Emil, thank you for tapping in, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Take it easy. All right, let's get.
Before you get somebody else in, can we get too late? Never mind.
My bad. What were you going to say, Euro?
Yo, what's his name? H2 Mass. Can you do me a favor?
Depends on the favor.
Can you ask the chat to get the likes up, please?
Chat, can you get the likes up?
Please.
Please.
There you go.
Please. I need it. I need it a lot.
All right, what's good, man? What you got?
I pretty much just wanted to know, like, how you all evaluate defense. Like, what makes someone a better defender than someone else? Because to me, I feel like there's a lot of inconsistencies. Like, one dude that just came on said, no big defender can be a better defender than Michael Jordan or Kawhi Leonard. And to me, that's absolutely insane. I don't really know how you back that up. I just want to know how you all break it down, how you decide someone's a better defender than someone else.
Yeah, this is a great question.
This is
tough, and I can't wait to hear some answers.
There's a lot of intangibles that goes into this. I think this is why this is so heavily debated. There's a lot of things that don't end up on the box score, like deflections, charges, everything like that. So I think that's the reason why people are typically arguing over it. But I think number one defense for me is effort. I think the best way to measure that is consistency. So if you have somebody that consistently puts forth the same effort, right, game in, game out, throughout the course of a season, throughout the course of several seasons, then that's the truest measure of a quote unquote consistent defender, whether or not he's good or not. And so now we can talk about how good a defender actually is by what he actually produces based off of this defense. You know what I mean? Obviously, the stats come into play, the stuff that does get credited with stats like blocks, for example, steals, etc. But then again, we have to look at what type of stat it is, because if you just shoot the passing lanes like Allen Iverson, based off of stats, you can say, yeah, Allen Iverson, if he's top 3, top 5, or even leading the league and, getting steals or whatever, just because you shoot a whole bunch of passing lanes doesn't make you a great defender. Knowing when to shoot a passing lane and to pick off a pass and not compromise your defense, because now if you overshoot the passing lane and you miss the actual pass, the interception, then, you just exposed your team to, being down one player 4 against 5 or whatever. I wouldn't say that's a good defender. So it just depends, really. But I also want to say that, just because you're big doesn't make you a less good defender or something like that. I think that's ridiculous also.
I think it's tough. I think defense, when we're evaluating defense, is most important. You gotta watch it. Defense is something that really can't be measured like that. The impact numbers and shit like that, honestly, bro, that don't mean nothing, because you watching them, you seeing what they do, you seeing what they provide. That's the most important thing when evaluating defense. And on top of that, I think it's very difficult to try to compare perimeter players' defense and big men's defense, because they both defend in different ways that's equally important. So I really don't like saying like a Drew Holiday is better than a Rudy Gobert, mainly because it's like those guys just do 2 completely different things, bro.
But that's different. It's with those 2 examples, because Rudy Gobert, you can put him on a perimeter and he's going to get cooked more than Drew Holiday's going to get cooked.
And if you want to measure
so?
it like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Because I think
if you have Drew Holiday as your primary rim protector, your team is going to give up a lot more points.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about just like sheer
like
one-on-one.
a one-on-one.
Yeah, because a rim protector as a big is the equivalent of a help side defender. You know what I mean? On the perimeter, basically. You know what I'm saying? So like what I would say is, Rudy Gobert playing one-on-one straight up or whatever is the same as Drew Holiday playing one-on-one straight up in the post. But I think where they would be equal is, if you put somebody that's as big as Rudy Gobert. Well, let me not use Rudy Gobert because everybody seems to think that he doesn't play doesn't have offensive back. But let's say you have a skilled post-up guy, right? Like, I don't know, man, like fucking DeMarcus Cousins or whatever. Drew Holiday can't do nothing with him if he's behind him, but Drew Holiday can actually fight around him and start fronting the defender, fronting the offensive player, fronting DeMarcus Cousins. And so, he has a better defensive impact than a Rudy Gobert, who can't do nothing. Like fronting the offensive player out of the post would be the same as like denying a guard the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like on the perimeter, Gobert is not going to deny anybody. So I definitely would choose Drew Holiday over that. And I don't know why you're snickering, Mars.
No, I'm just trying to figure out like how you're actually.
Rudy Gobert can't guard the perimeter. I just find that funny.
Rudy Gobert cannot guard the perimeter.
Yeah, I find that funny. That's
why
I laugh. Because it's objectively wrong. So I find it funny.
Why is it objectively wrong?
Because when Rudy Gobert guards on the perimeter, regardless of the clips that you see when Steph Curry put him in a blender, the fact of the matter is he's one of the most successful big men in the league guarding the perimeter. But people
now you're just comparing it to other big men, and so just because he's better than other big men doesn't mean
you would have to compare Drew Holiday to other.
In the same way, I'm not going to compare Drew Holiday's post defense to Rudy Gobert. I'm going to compare it to Marcus Smart, other guards. I'm not, because he's not going to do what Rudy Gobert can do. But Rudy Gobert objectively is not a bad perimeter defender. He's just not. But
just because of his position. You're basing it. You can say, but Mars, you can't sit here and do that shit, because that's just no, you can't. And let me tell you why you can't. And the reason why you can't is because at the end of the day, even though he's good for a big man position, it's ass. It's ass, Mars. And there's no way to go about it. Compare
him to perimeter guys, he's still not terrible. So
he's pretty bad. He is still pretty bad. And this is why I say, and this is why I say, defense is the most important thing, is to watch the damn game and not rely on these damn stats. When you sit here, cool, Mars. I watched 6 Jazz games, and all those 6 Jazz games, he gets fucking cooked.
Yeah, he gets cooked. Put Donovan Mitchell, one of the best scorers in the league. Well, Donovan Mitchell's on his team, but you get what I'm saying. You put one of the best perimeter scorers in the league on Rudy Gobert. You see about 6 possessions where he doesn't get a stop, and then you say he's a bad perimeter defender. When the fact of the matter
We've seen multiple times where this has happened, Mars. He was getting bodied against the Clippers against nobody. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Plays more than the amount of
like, this is just capping, son. These are the same numbers that'll probably tell you that Giannis is a good perimeter defender.
Because I read the numbers and I said Giannis objectively isn't.
Okay, so what's the numbers for Rudy?
What do you want me to do?
What's the run numbers for Rudy?
Okay, I'll read the numbers because I've had this saved because we had a Discord argument, not me and you, but we had a Discord argument before. In isolation on the perimeter, isolation, no help, one-on-one on the perimeter from a switch, 0.71 points per possession. That's elite isolation defense. That's not even good for a big man. That's not good for Drew Holiday. That's elite for the NBA. Yes, he's not guarding the best isolation players in the NBA because he's not going to be guarding them. So there is context there. I acknowledge that. The fact of the matter is when he's switched and in an isolation, he doesn't give up many points. He gives up very low points compared to the rest of the league. He barely fouls. He has a one of the lowest foul rates in the league when switched on the perimeter. He only fouls 5% of the time. In a pick and roll where he's guarding the ball handler, so obviously whatever happens, he's guarding the ball handler. 0.67 points per possession. That's even lower than the isolation numbers. Once again, elite in the league, but I guess whatever you want to say. In catch and shoot situations where we saw what Terrence Mann did, everyone went crazy. Oh, Rudy Gobert can't close out. Oh, he got cooked 7 threes. 0.83 points per possession. So once again, elite rate in the NBA, but apparently he doesn't play defense. On average, Rudy Gobert on the perimeter is 0.73 points per possession. You want to compare that to a bunch of bigs. He's in the same realm of Bam Adebayo, Draymond Green, Ben Simmons, and I think Giannis is a tier below those guys. That's the realm of company he's in as a perimeter defender.
But you don't think that's...
It must be dinner time in London.
No, wait. And you don't think that's mainly... And I'm going to say what you said before. You don't think that's mainly because most of the time he's not even guarding guys that's a good offensive player?
Because he's more valuable at the rim, so you don't put him on
so yes, you're using these numbers. You're using these numbers. You're using these guys. You're using these numbers against guys who aren't even that good of an offensive player.
H2, do you think Rudy Gobert is elite?
What I said was Rudy Gobert isn't going to stop Steph Curry on the perimeter. He's not going to stop LeBron James. He's not going to stop Kevin Durant. The fact was what I said.
I'm not bringing up those guys.
Look what you started, bro.
When he's on the perimeter, you said he's bad. The fact of the matter is when he's out there, regardless of who he's guarding, he's objectively not bad.
Again, and this is why I say context matters. You're saying regardless of who he's guarding, and you just said, and we're all acknowledging.
Really
I'm not saying. Hold up. I'm not saying that he needs to go out there and go up against Stephen Curry and try to lock him the fuck up. But I'm saying the times of which he's guarding those players, majority of the time, they are one of the weakest offensive players on the court. So you can't just sit here and use those.
True, because teams don't force switches for Torrey Craig to get isolations.
You don't sit here. That. So then let's dot. We're gonna have to. All right, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna sit here and bring up all these fucking Jazz games and see who the fuck he was guarding up and see and really get down to the bottom of this, because I highly doubt that this guy is sitting here now on one of the weakest offensive players on the court, Mars.
Missing the whole point.
I understand your point. I don't give a fuck about your point.
Off on one of the best players on the team. I'm saying teams force switches to get favorable matchups. Rudy Gobert, when he's in those switch situations, isn't giving up the points per possession that you believe he is, where you think he's getting cooked. The facts are he's not getting cooked. He's not saying, oh, Mike Budenholzer is saying, you know what, Chris Middleton, we don't want you to isolate. Let's give the ball to Wesley Matthews on Rudy Gobert. They're not doing that. No one does that. No coach says whoever's got Rudy on them, go isolate that game. They're not doing that. They force switches. That's how teams work. Even in the playoffs, they do the same thing with Steph Curry. Steph Curry, another person who's wrongfully deemed as a bad defender. Steph Curry starts on weak offensive players, like Reggie Bullock against the Dallas Mavericks. What does Dallas try to do? They try to get Steph Curry on Luka Doncic. So when he's in those situations where he's being isolated, it's against Luka Doncic, not against Reggie Bullock. So who he starts on is irrelevant to the fact that those isolation possessions aren't coming up against weak offensive players. That's my point. So
your point, okay, you can have that point, and I'm not even gonna argue against that. But at the end of the day, the dude is still fucking ass.
Wow. All right, let's move. Did you have anything else to get off really quick, Mass?
Well, I was basically just trying to say, like, it seems like when we berate Rudy Gobert or somebody for like not being good at the perimeter, we don't hold that same logic for someone like a Marcus Smart or for someone
getting
like a
bullied in the
good perimeter
post.
defender in the post. And then you'll say, well, they're probably better one-on-one in the perimeter or at the post than a Rudy Gobert is at the perimeter, which I don't even think I would agree with that. But also, it seems like you're completely missing like all the other aspects of defense. Like, I don't think that they're going to hold off like alley-oops and stuff like that nearly as much. I mean, I think LeBron would way rather have Drew Holiday at the rim than Rudy Gobert guarding him at the perimeter if there's also like another big behind him. Like, I just think that LeBron cares way more about, or I think most players would fare a lot better with a really small rim protector than with like a really, or I think that, I don't even know what I was trying to say right there, but I just feel like yeah, I didn't really have much to say because Mars was pretty much saying a lot of what I was gonna say there.
Damn, Mars taking our guest shine and shit.
Yeah, damn, Mars. All right, man. Thank you.
You're the one who asked why I was laughing. You started this.
Thank you for tapping in, bro. Whew, good question. That sparked a heated debate. All right, let's get somebody else up here. Yo, so we have so many people trying to get in here, so we're gonna keep it to one question or one topic so that we can try and get everyone up here in the next 30 minutes. Mad Max had some smoke for Dub, so I can't wait to hear this.
He's muted.
I ain't even got no smoke no more. Mars just air fried him. Mars just air fried him. I'm talking about Dub, stick the gridiron, please. Just stay on gridiron.
Man, that was just a whole bullshit.
Son. You just got son.
Max, did you have anything for us? Question?
I was gonna break down what Mars was breaking down, but he beat me to it. My God, that's the worst one-on-one I ever seen in here. Killed him.
Do you have any other question or anything you want to add your comments to that we've talked about today?
Yeah, Dub, stop watching what Stephen A. Smith tell you about Rudy Gobert. He's a great defender, perimeter and all. If, of course, he switched on to Steph Curry, he's going to get killed. And like Mars was saying, you talking about he not switching on to great players. Who running a pick and roll for Marcus Smart? Is he switching on to Marcus Smart?
Dub, are you with us?
Hello?
He can't with us.
No way. No way. Imagine Dub is faking this right now.
Hello? No way. All right, so what the fuck just happened? My shit just went crazy. You made me fucking take my USB and shit. Let me tell you, that shit he just said, listen, that shit he just said, that shit that he just said meant nothing because at the end of the day, we all just said he was lined up against lesser offensive opponents.
No, you said and that. Nobody else said that. You said
Mars, what did you say? You said that he wasn't letting up points. He wasn't letting up points against who? Lesser offensive opponents, right? And that was your reasons on saying why he was a good perimeter defender, right?
What team is running a pick and roll for lesser offensive opponents?
No. Wait, Mars. No, that's what you said, right, Mars?
Is the Heat running a pick and roll for Max Strus?
I said all of his possessions, he's not starting on the league's best offensive players. That's what I said.
Listen,
I said he's not out there starting on the KDs, LeBron James, Steph Curry.
He's still getting switched onto them on pick and rolls.
Is the Heat running pick and roll?
What?
It's not, son. He gets
because what happens is they set pick and rolls for Wesley.
When we sit here, if we sit here, and I guarantee you, bro, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to do some homework. When we sit here and look at all of these games, even throughout the regular season, we could go throughout the playoffs as well. At the end of the day, a lot of times when he's on the guy who's a good offensive player, he's going to get killed, bro. And that's just what happens. You could read off all those stats that you want. It doesn't mean nothing to me. You want to say 6 games? Cool. I watch more than 6 games. But Mars, it's a nice joke. We'll keep it rolling. All those 6 games that we was talking about. All the 6 games that we talk about that I've seen, I do not see the capable defender that you're talking about. At the end of the day, he's a big man. He's slow. He can't move like that. And that hinders him as a perimeter defender. And we cannot dispute that or ignore that. Want to compare him to a big man in the league? Cool. I got you. That's nice. At the end of the day, he's still not good enough.
Let me ask this question, JD.
Yeah, please.
Gone. So who you think a better defender, Mikal Bridges or Rudy Gobert?
Here we go again, bro. Oh, my God. I don't like comparing perimeter or big man. I think
No,
they
we
just
compare
defend in a completely different way.
totality.
If you want me to give me, if you want me to give you an answer, I might have to lean more.
Totality.
I don't know, bro. Honestly, it has to be based on what I need. If I'm on a team and I need a guy who can sit here guard on perimeter, I need to stop. Give me Bridges. Give me Bridges.
No, you
if I need to
stop.
Luka,
you seen what happened when he got put in the post?
Who?
He ain't got no bricks in his back pocket.
Bro, Rudy was getting torched too. So what are you talking about?
You talking about Terrence Mann, right? Well, the defensive.
Oh no, you used Luka. You used Luka, right? He was getting torched by Luka too. So what are you talking about?
Did he put him in the post?
He did everything else, and he put him on the
Luka
post.
torched Paul George and Kawhi, so we can kill that noise.
And then, so why are you bringing Luka for Mikal Bridges?
I'm just saying he got put in the post.
Oh,
Jalen Brunson put him in the post. Okay, Jalen Brunson, he put him in the post.
Son, you again. I told you. I just told you I don't rank perimeter and fucking big men in the same criteria because it's just two completely different ways. You're making me choose something. I'm not gonna argue this point because you're making me choose something that I don't really care about defending.
Yeah, just get the gridiron, man.
That's crazy, Max. Hey, thank you for tapping in, bro.
Hey,
Mars. The gridiron.
Mars, do you have a list for best defender in the league?
I don't have a list, but Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, Giannis, Anthony Davis, Bam would be the names on that list, but I don't have a list. But they would be my top 5.
Where would Giroux be?
Oh shit.
Drew. Somewhere in the top. I don't want to say top 10 and then find out I'm lying, so I'll say somewhere in the top 15 to be conservative. But
Drew Holiday, top 15 defender.
Yeah, I'm partially confident he'd probably be top 10, but I don't want to say he's top 10 in case he wouldn't be if I go and actually check. So I'm gonna say top 15 because I'm 100% confident he's top 15.
All right.
Cash out. What's good, bro?
Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So I argue with my friends about this all the time. Y'all, where do you guys have Chris Paul, like, as a point guard, all time?
Tough off.
Top 10 for sure.
Steph, Magic, Oscar, Steve Nash,
J Kid.
He's at 6, 5 or 6, depends on how.
Yeah, he's not top 5. I don't think, but he's top 10 for sure.
Yeah, he's top 10, 100%.
Yeah,
I feel like we overrate him because.
Where do you have him?
Probably like 8 or 9.
Okay, top 10. Okay, go ahead.
Top 10 because I can't really think of all the point guards, but I say we overrate him because compared to other players, we don't hold his faults against him. Like people that I know, when he went to the finals, they're like, "Oh, he deserves the ring." When all he did was lose before. Like with the Clippers, he blew a 3-1 lead that no one brings up ever. Right? And like. I just feel like certain players, we would hold their faults. Like Curry, they bring it up. KD, they bring it up. But Chris Paul, you never hear about what he has done when he's failed. It's just.
I think it's because a lot of the examples that people do name are ones where he, was unlucky with injuries.
Yeah.
And so I think that's happened more often than none, and particularly during the years where people were like, okay, you know what, this is the year for him.
Yeah.
Also, you can't deny his talent. How many point guards can go out there and win you a championship?
Jesus is just not that caliber of guy where like we hold that stuff against LeBron, KD, Steph. Like they're a higher level of guy. Yeah. It's similar. Like we don't hold Kawhi up. Like he blew a 3-1 lead with the Clippers. We don't hold that against Kawhi. When you're not viewed in that realm, like you don't get
talk about
stuff
Kawhi
held
being
against you like that.
5 player. I feel like we should bring that up. Like when you talk about Paul George, you bring it up what he did in the bubble, blowing a 3-1 lead. But with Kawhi, you don't say it. It's like
Because people blame Paul George for it. But it's similar with Damian Lillard. No one brings up Damian Lillard's shortcomings in the playoffs. But if he made it to the finals, people would say Dame deserves a ring. It's because you start rooting for someone who's quote unquote an underdog. Like that's why.
But somebody of Chris Paul's stature being probably arguably top 5 at his position, he has really like underachieved. The only year, like with the Clippers, that was like a team you could have said could have won it all. Like obviously, some people would say that, most people won't. But like that was a really good team, and for him to blow that 3-1 lead against Corey Brewer and Josh Smith, and nobody brings it up, that's worse than KD blowing it to the Warriors to me.
But I mean, who's saying that he's top 5? Because I mean, and anybody here just didn't say. You say Dub. You say Chris Paul's top 5 point guard all time.
Top 5 point guard because
I wouldn't be mad if you put him as top 5 either. I wouldn't be mad.
It's not really a crazy company if we're gonna think about it. You got Magic and Steph, and we want to talk about winning, like those guys.
Jason Kidd,
top tier winning. Jason Kidd, he was great, but I mean,
hold on, Mars. You said you have a top 5, but you just listed off a whole bunch of.
If I didn't rank Oscar Robertson, he'd probably be top 5. He'd probably be 5th.
I'm not ranking Oscar Robertson at all.
That's why
you got Jason. You got after Magic and Steph. I mean Zeke. You got Nash. You got Stockton. You got Jason Kidd. So I mean, it's not really a crazy Westbrook. It's not really a crazy company in terms of winning that he's in. So having him 5, you're splitting hairs at that point. You can look more of them as a talent, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad at putting Chris Paul in the top 5 at all.
All right. Well, that's what I wanted to say.
Appreciate you.
No, wait. I want to know he had him 8 or 9. Who's the 7 above Chris Paul? That's just what I want to know.
All right.
Good question.
Magic. Well, right now it's 1A, 1B with Steph and Magic because some people say Steph is a shooting guard, but I hold him as a point guard. So I'm gonna just say, I guess you could say Steph 1, Magic 2, Jason Kidd number 3, Steve Nash, Isaiah Thomas. That's what, 5?
That's 5.
Sounds like you want to say Chris Paul.
Nah. Fuck him.
Don't let your homie see this episode.
Do you not like him? Do you not like him just because he's a dirty player?
That too. Like when I don't know if you remember the play where it was a fast break in the finals and he pushed Giannis midair and Giannis still dunked the ball. I was like, what did he try to gain doing that? Because he wasn't play.
All right, you're still not off the hook. Keep rating.
No, wait, hold on. I distracted.
He's about to say John Stockton, and I'm not going to be a happy guy.
Say it. I want to see Mars.
Don't say Russ, please.
I honestly think Russ had a better career than Chris Paul. That's just me, though.
You could say better career. I don't think he's a better player.
Well, this is all time, so that's a career, all-time career. So okay. I will say
I didn't know we were doing that.
You can have it. You can have it. You can have it. You can have it.
John Stockton,
Oscar Robertson.
I didn't say Oscar yet. Oscar.
No.
In a row.
I mean, what is that? 8?
That's 8. So
8.
That's for Bob Cousy in there as well.
Oh hell no.
Hey, we're talking about careers. What's going on?
Jerry West.
Yeah, Jerry West as well. That's for
guard.
I mean, he played the point guard a lot more than the shooting guard.
But Chris Paul is like 8 or 9. Like 8 or 9 is interchangeable, but I just don't think he's top 5.
Woo! All right.
Like,
all right, we're gonna get somebody else in here. Cash out. Thank you for tapping in, bro.
No problem.
Appreciate you. Oh, whoops. Josh, what's up?
Hey. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Wow, I've been watching for a long time. Okay, so my thoughts are that, like, I was watching the panel and they were discussing, like, 96 Lakers against, like, 17 Warriors. And I think it's, like, I don't think it's close if you measure them up. Because, like the, what would I say? Oh, my gosh. I'm a bit nervous.
The 96
Don't
Lakers.
be worried, man. 2000.
Oh, it was the 2001 Lakers against the 17 Warriors. And I think, like, everything now is probably better than the past. Like, I think, like, the 2022 Warriors is probably going to beat the 96 Bulls and the 2001 Lakers. Because think about the spacing, think about the energy they put on defense. Because right now they're not putting any energy on defense compared to the past. Because, like, imagine chasing Steph Curry over, like, 60 different screens. I think, like, compared to what they did in the past, I think it's kind of like, I don't think it's a good comparison. So, like, I think if you put them in a vacuum, I just don't think the Lakers stand a chance.
Brother, do you live in a castle?
He's just walking in circles.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Fire.
Well, I got ping pong table and everything.
But if we're going based on that evolution, okay, so hypothetical. If the 01 Lakers were in the NBA right now, they still make the playoffs, right?
Definitely.
But teams now are just better, so why?
They would just lose. So I think it's like foolish to even compare
round
that.
2. Where would they lose?
Probably round 2. Maybe. Like, I don't think they beat the Suns.
So the 2022 Phoenix Suns are better than the 01 Lakers.
If you're comparing it within eras, no. But if you're comparing them across eras, it's not the same.
Interesting.
I just think the games are so different, man. The Lakers, back then and the Warriors now, like it's just played so differently, and not just individually as like the two teams, as far as that's concerned, but also like just the rules in general, like the games and the way they're called and stuff like that. I wouldn't be able to compare the two and say one team will be able to edge out the other. I wouldn't be able to give a solid answer on that.
I think that's fair. But I think people are afraid to admit that basketball has advanced when they're like comparing the past to the future. Because like look at sprinting. Like sprinting in like the 1960s, like everybody's better now. So I'm saying like right now, like it's advanced and like everybody's better than they were in the past.
Right.
So basically, if you compare them now, the athleticism, like in the 1980s, people didn't close out to the 3-point line. Like if Larry Bird was taking a shot, I think you let him take the shot because it's not an efficient shot. So like even the defense, like the effort on defense, everything is different. So like when I heard that, I got kind of upset. So yeah, that's all.
Well, like who do you have though? You said the Lakers will get thrashed.
Yeah, like I don't think it's close.
What are they going to do with Shaq?
It doesn't matter. Like you're going to put Shaq in the pick and roll like 60 times, he'll be tired, he'll be gassed. He won't be able to do anything. He'll get 30 points a game, but that's not enough.
Fire.
I'm not gonna lie. I think you're kind of underrating like how talented the 2000s was. Like they had a tremendous amount of talent. Like this, like Stephon Marbury, Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady. The thing is, the league was still in some ways a big man league as well. So you actually have more skilled big men in that league than in today's league due to the way that the game has progressed. So I think it's just kind of disrespectful, honestly, be like, oh yeah, in today's league it's just way more talented. They're just so much better than players back in the 2000s. When we look back in the 2000s, there's a lot of hitters, bro.
But overall, from the very best player in the NBA to the very worst player in the NBA, the talent has gotten better.
I don't know.
That's across every era. It's across every era.
I don't know about the
yes,
2000s,
it is.
bro.
Yes, it is. You can't be looking at the top because the top is the top whatever. You have to start looking at the majority of the NBA. The guys who you're not looking at, who you're not paying attention to, or you're not talking about.
So
that talent pool is better year over year, generation through generation, era through era, whatever, better than the previous ones.
Let me ask you this. Rick Fox, right? On the Golden State Warriors in 2017, I believe. Is he who's better?
Dub, I don't know what you're doing here. This makes zero sense
who's
what
better?
You're doing because we're
better?
talking about hundreds of players. We're not talking about all right, let's go down one role player.
His point
to the next role player.
his point was that just because the Golden State Warriors, evolution of basketball and everything, that they're that much better. Like, is Rick Fox that much better than like an Andre Iguodala? That's a role player.
Bro, I have no idea what you're doing. Like, we just went from one thing to the other. Like, we're not even talking about the same things.
Fuck it.
All right, let's get somebody else up here. Yo, Josh, thank you for tapping in, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, let's get Tony in here. Tony, what's good, bro?
What's up, bro? Look, so I was about to get on Mars earlier, but I wanted to get in the chat. I wanted to get in the call and ask him this. So I want to ask Mars, who is your top 5 point guards of our time?
Are we best point guards or?
Yeah.
I hate that so much.
No, it's just because the last guy was talking about career and I wasn't talking about career and it was confusing. Steph, Magic, Oscar Robertson, Steve Nash.
So you think
Russell Westbrook probably?
You think Oscar Robertson is better than Jason Kidd?
Yes.
Why would you say that though? Like when we improved the impact, when Jason Kidd led his team to what, two back-to-back finals?
He did.
And go ahead, what you about to say?
No, I was just agreeing with you. He led his team to 2 finals.
I was saying he led his team to 2 finals. J Kidd, like what did Oscar Robertson do until he got Kareem, the best scorer? You could argue the best scorer all time. What did he do? And what makes him better, other than because if you're saying Oscar Robertson is better than Isaiah Thomas, I can make the same argument for Russell Westbrook because they're equivalent in the same. They're equivalent in the same.
But no, Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook are not equivalent to being the same player at all. That's just based on people seeing triple doubles and assuming they're the same. They play nothing alike.
So what would you say?
There's no comparison between them at all, to be honest. But that's whatever. The reason why I think Oscar Robertson is so good is because when I look at, I don't do the evolution thing. I don't say, 60s guys, they're worse than everyone today. I don't do that. I just judge you based on what you were doing when you played. And when I look at what Oscar Robertson was doing, the reason he didn't succeed is because the defenses that were built around him, because if you want to look at what Oscar Robertson was leading offensively, his Cincinnati teams had the best offense in the league damn near every year he was on that team. The reason they were failing is because they damn near had the worst defense in the league every year. And that wasn't because of Oscar Robertson. A point guard's not going to impact the defense that much. The only point guard I've seen impact defense that much is Walt Frazier and Jason Kidd, to be fair. The reason they were failing is because the defenses they built around him, they couldn't sustain. Even though their offense is still translated in the playoffs, they were still losing in the playoffs because obviously you got Bill Russell Celtics. They're going to beat everyone. And then once you start coming up against the Wilt Chamberlains and the other Jerry Wests and Elgin Baylors, the dominant offensive players in the league, Cincinnati's defense couldn't hold up. So their offense was still pumping out elite offenses in the playoffs, but their defenses just weren't able to push them over the top, which is why he wasn't winning championships or getting to the finals like a Jason Kidd. But what he was producing as an offensive impact, he's easily, relative to era, a better offensive player. Jason Kidd is, to me, the best defensive point guard of all time. But Jason Kidd's defense isn't going to elevate, because I think Jason Kidd's offense is kind of meh, to be honest.
You think it's mid?
It's kind of It's suspect to me. So when I look at that, I think Oscar Robertson is, for me, comfortably better offensively, where Jason Kidd being the best defensive point guard ever, just because of how being a great defensive point guard is limiting in value to me, isn't enough for me to say Jason Kidd's better than him. But Jason Kidd's still top 10, but there's a few.
Okay, and if I could I ask the panel one question? Like, who would y'all take in the playoffs just to be a interior defender, AD or Rudy Gobert?
AD.
Healthy AD for me.
Strictly to guard the interior or just as a playoff defender?
Interior defender.
Oh, then Rudy Gobert.
And then let me ask like all around defense, AD or Rudy Gobert.
I'm taking
never picking AD
Anthony
for
Davis.
anything.
You said what, Euro?
I said I'm never picking AD for anything.
Is that because of the injury history?
Yes.
It's fair.
Can't argue with that.
It is what it is. I'm sorry, AD. I'm a big fan, but I cannot.
Fire.
I can respect that. That's all I wanted to ask. I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you for tapping in, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
We appreciate you. All right, Scabaldi. Let's go. Scabaldi, what's good, bro?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear us?
So first of all, yeah, I can hear y'all.
All right.
Mars, good shit on cooking Dub with the Rudy Gobert shit. Cook that nigga.
Jesus. Y'all hear all these stats and y'all just run to it like a pimp calling a hoe.
Yo, dog.
You're tweaking. But I just want to make it quick because this isn't my point. But yeah, I've seen Rudy Gobert like guard the perimeter and not get cooked plenty of times. I think it gets over exaggerated. I've had this conversation like yesterday. But yeah, even if he is a bad perimeter defender, it's like, how many 7-footers are you looking to guard the perimeter as effectively as a Drew Holiday or Marcus Smart? I don't understand why you're killing him that much for that. But my other point was, I wanted to ask about y'all like all-time shooting guards, like Klay Thompson, if y'all got him top 10.
Nope.
Because I know Dell does, but
top 10 shooting guard.
Yeah, for Klay Thompson.
I'm not sure.
He might be top 15. Maybe.
Yeah, I got him top 15. I don't think I got him top 10 right now, but because I know Dell's not here anymore, but I know he has like him over Reggie Miller and shit. I don't know why, but
yeah, I definitely don't have that.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of Klay Thompson top 10 talk, so I just want to get y'all opinions on that.
I don't think Klay's better than Vince Carter, and Vince Carter is not top 10. So
yeah, I would really have to write names out because I don't know if he's. I could maybe say he's top 30.
Kobe, DeWayne, James Harden, Ray Allen.
I mean, I would have to write these names out, bro. There's a lot of
Let's do it right now.
I have to think of.
I mean,
I'm not going to write 20,
done this
29. This is why I'm saying 30 because he could be top 20. I don't know, but like Mars did with a little conservative estimate, 30, and I'm still looking at 30 like maybe top 40 is more better conservative. I don't know. I don't know.
If I'm 100% honest, Devin Booker is better than Klay Thompson.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Devin Booker is better than Klay Thompson. So it's
like we really got to think about this
Klay
list. Donovan Mitchell, I think, is better than Klay Thompson. So
Zach LaVine's better than Klay Thompson. There's a lot of people better than Klay Thompson.
Bro, this is why it's like we can't comfortably say Klay Thompson's
top
top
30
15.
isn't even crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It might be 50.
Unless you're going based off accolades and 4 rings and whatever,
right.
Then, yeah, he can be top 10, but no one cares about that. So
right.
Are you saying that because he hasn't been in any other setting other than Golden State?
I weigh accolades and stuff a little bit.
I'm not.
Are you discounting whatever he's brought to the NBA based off of him not being able to show whether or not he's able to function at the same rate as he is with the Warriors?
I don't take away because I judge you based on what you did, where you played. I'm just looking at Klay Thompson as, at best, the 3rd best guy on a championship team. And I'm looking at guys like Devin Booker, who has been the best player on the team that has had some form of playoff success. Zach LaVine hasn't yet. I do believe he could. I'm looking at his skill set. I think it translates more favorably as a number 1, number 2 guy versus a Klay Thompson.
So what about guys that are like in the twilight, like a Mitch Richmond, for example? Because he was the best. He was the best. Yeah, because he was the best player on the Sacramento Kings in a crazy West, and he was also he holds some type of statistic that's crazy, but he's like one of the best shooters like for a long stretch of time in terms of like just percentage and like efficiency and shit like that. But I'm not a stat guy like that, but I know what I'm saying. Like where would you have Mitch Richmond, over or under Klay?
I don't know, because the issue with Mitch Richmond is he was a number 1 guy, but the team was terrible.
Right.
So
that's why I was asking.
It's kind of similar. We always go to Bradley Beal, but it's kind of similar to that. Like I think Klay Thompson's probably better than Bradley Beal, because if you can't provide much to me as a number 1 guy, and I see Klay Thompson as a number 2, number 3. He's as a number 2. Well, maybe not number 2. As a number 3, Klay Thompson might be the most valuable player there is, like, ever.
When we're talking about
Bradley
top
Beal had
number 3
on his team in order to actually make
Bradley Beal had John Wall. He wasn't a superstar yet.
Yeah, I mean,
and then he had Russell Westbrook, who got hurt in the playoffs, but the only reason they made the playoffs is because of Russell Westbrook.
But so now I would argue, because you know me and my belief in terms of like a successful recipe for a good team is if you have 2 guards that are like similar, that's not going to work. And so each player that you just mentioned to go alongside with Bradley Beal, John Wall, similar type of player in terms of, offensive explosiveness, both perimeter guys. Russ, same thing. And Russ even worse, in quote unquote, in terms of ball dominance and everything like that. Like Bradley Beal was not ever going to be able to do anything successful with that lineup.
Okay, so now he's got Porzingis. Do you think that's a recipe for success? If Porzingis is healthy, which is obviously a big if, but
no.
When you say success, what do you mean here? Because he's not winning a chip.
No, obviously not. So, but like something more than just a play and exit. Like, I need to see something
no.
substantial. As
but we're talking about championship caliber players. Do I think Bradley Beal and Porzingis is going to be able to like even get to the Eastern Conference Finals? No, definitely not. And so, that's what we're talking about. Like, has Bradley Beal ever been around a player like a Steph Curry that has like decent players like a KD, for example, around him, or KD have decent players around him to get to the finals? LeBron have decent players around him to get like an AD to get to the finals. Like, Bradley Beal has never had anybody like that, right?
Yeah, for sure. But I just think Klay Thompson in those situations is more valuable than a Bradley Beal, in my opinion.
Do you think that that value will translate to him getting further in the playoffs than Bradley Beal has ever been?
I think if you hypothetically swapped Steph Curry and Bradley Beal, not Steph Curry, I mean Klay Thompson and Bradley Beal in those Warriors teams, I think we probably still win because we have KD. But I think we are a better team with Klay Thompson in that fold than a Bradley Beal, just because I think Bradley Beal's skill set becomes obsolete next to Steph Curry and KD, who are just better than him at the things he does, whereas Klay Thompson fits a mold where... That's why I said as a number 3 guy, he's so valuable, because his skill set is elevated by superstars, whereas Bradley Beal is kind of less than...
And so my question is exactly the flip side of that. Do you think that Klay is being overrated or underrated, depending on how you look at it, based off of the fact that he's only ever been with the Golden State Warriors, and he's only ever been in a system where he is, quote unquote, the third best player or the third option, and has never been able to actually go somewhere else and establish himself as a player like a James Harden did? You know what I mean? He said, you know what, OKC is not it for me or whatever, because KD and Russ and I have to actually go somewhere else to establish myself, take that chance. And James Harden, we talked about that at the beginning of the episode, James Harden was able to establish himself as one of the top tier guys in the league because of that. Do you think Klay Thompson is able to do that? And if you don't think so, do you think that this is the reason why people overrate him?
Yes, yeah, I do think he's overrated based on what he's achieved with Golden State. I think you put him in a situation where he has to be the guy on the team. That team is getting Victor Wembanyama next year. That's how bad that team would be. But people look at what he's achieved as a cog in a great system in Golden State and attribute it to Klay Thompson being some otherworldly player, when I don't want to minimize Klay Thompson, but he's kind of replaceable, in my opinion. Not like one for one, you're going to get the same value, but what he brings is a replaceable skill set. But people seem to overvalue it because of the success he's had in that system, in my opinion.
So if he were to, let's say if he were to be on a team and make the playoffs, that would change your opinion, right?
If Klay Thompson was the best player on the team that made the playoffs, like convincingly, not some 40-win team that made the playoffs because the league was trash. If he convincingly made the playoffs, I would be very pleasantly surprised.
Like 45, 46 wins.
If Klay Thompson won 46 games as the clear-cut best player on the team, I'd be very surprised.
And this is where I say the main difference between everybody in this debate. I understand what y'all seen, but that's why I say that where this is the main differentiator between everybody in this debate. You got guys who believe he can and guys who believe he can't. And if that's really the deciding factor for everybody, I just don't really see a point in arguing this, because we just think that one person can do it and then the other person can't. Me and Dale think he could. You guys think he can't. If you give him a good ball hand,
he can.
Well, I was making a team with
from him is being like a catch and shoot, like all situation. So I've seen I haven't seen enough evidence that he can like create his own shot and be a better offensive player as a number one option than what he is right now as a number 2 or 3.
Yeah, my brain can't
depending
comprehend
on like who you think the second or third.
Well, I think if you get a guy like a Kyle Lowry on there, get some good defensive pieces as well. I think the team could definitely, with Kyle Lowry running the show, could definitely have Klay Thompson as number 1 and making the playoffs. But it all depends on the other pieces. So that's just my little food for thought.
So it's Klay Thompson and Kyle Lowry the 2 best players?
Huh?
Klay Thompson and Kyle Lowry are the 2 best players on the team.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to know who
they
like the second best player.
Let's say
if Kyle Lowry's the second best player on that team.
If Klay, no, we'll go into this. If you replace Klay Thompson with DeMar DeRozan, do you think they make the playoffs?
Bro, no more hypotheticals. Can we argue things that we see? No
fuck
hypotheticals.
It.
If we're gonna do hypotheticals, I'm ending the show.
Jay,
you can't argue this. You can't.
It's an honest food for thought. It's an honest food for thought, and I'm not even debating this. I want to understand if DeMar DeRozan, if you switch Klay Thompson, DeMar DeRozan, who do you guys think they make the playoffs?
What year are we going?
The years they would make the playoffs during LeBron's run.
So the 2016 Raptors that won 56 games.
Yes.
Do they make the playoffs?
Yes. It's a yes,
bro. Okay, come on.
It's a yes.
We're at 3 hours, bro, and you guys are like dying.
It's not even.
You guys aren't even talking.
It's a yes. It's a yes, bro.
I can't say yes for sure because the reason they were so successful is because they had an isolation scorer like DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
You're losing your team's only You're losing your team's only isolation scorer and replacing him with Klay Thompson.
And
so now you're looking at who? Kyle Lowry, Damari Carroll. Like, who am I looking for?
I don't think his defense is
you could replace that with some motion offense
and isolation scoring. DeMar
motion offense only gets you so far. Like, it's not gonna.
I think it gets you so far to make the playoffs.
I'm not really a fan of the hypotheticals either, personally, for reasons like this.
But what we're talking about is a hypothetical. I mean, what we're talking about is a hypothetical. You're saying that Klay Thompson can't do it, and that's based off the hypothetical because you've never seen it before.
I think you have enough evidence to make a better.
I'm saying I don't understand how you can see him as a number one option when we've only seen him as a number 2 or 3, depending on who you think is better, Dre and Klay, or number 2 scoring option. And he hasn't been like a shot creator or an isolation scorer. He's literally just like essentially an elite 3-and-D wing. So that's all I have to go off of. So there's no reason for me to assume he'd be an elite number 1 option off of him being a 3-and-D wing.
I'm not sparking up this debate.
No matter how great he is.
I mean, we're just talking in circles at this point. But Scabaldi, thank you for tapping in, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, brother. Appreciate you tapping in.
Appreciate Klay for that Game 6 in 2016, though.
All right, y'all. That is all. We're almost at 3 hours, 10 minutes. Thank you, everyone who tapped into the show. Thank you for everyone who is watching. Thank you for everyone who hit that like button. If you haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit that. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And audio listeners, please like or rate and review the podcast. Download the episode. We appreciate everything that you guys continue doing to support the Players' Choice channel and just Players' Choice in general, man. It's all love. Since Dell's not here, love is love. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do other things, and we will catch you on Wednesday. All right, peace out.